slide through? Time will tell. Couple of bans on the way though. The Bruno is going to be banned out. That is one of the marksmans being limited. Looks like that was one of their possible worries going up against that Claw. Now RRQ Hoshi, they've had such a great run so far inside of the group stage. They were able to take down Team Lowgun. When it came to marksmans though, they actually had the Claude in game 1, and then they had the Beatrix for game 2. They didn't really pull out a Bruno, and so I'm wondering if that's do they go for the Beatrix again? Do they go for the Brody? I mean, this great dive. There's some really good dive on the side of DEUS VULT, especially with the spatial migration from the Guinevere, the Blazing Duet, and the battle mirrors from the Claude. That's engage and disengage, and also provides a lot of survivability for them on the team. Arlot has not been banned out. If DEUS VULT picks up the Arlot, that is going to synergize so good with the Navaria and the Guinevere. And honestly, I don't know if RRQ Hoshi notices this, but if that walks, I can pretty much guarantee you DEUS VULT should pick that up, because the Demon Gaze is gonna proc
ada caster Indo
when the Astral Echo goes down from Sunset Lover on the Navaria, and also Magister when he pushes in with the Violet Requiem.
Mau aku kalau caster Indo.
Wow, what a draft from RRQ Hoshi and DEUS VULT, both thought of here for both sides. And I think looking at the draft here of DEUS VULT, they got a good setup here. I'm anticipating this might be either a Sao pick, or maybe even goes to Kid Bomba here, who really loves to make the plays and the XP. But looking at RRQ Hoshi, this is kind of like the same lineup that we've seen in the game earlier up against Burmese schools, right? Where we've seen the Barretts, and now this time it's gonna be paired with the classic Matilla. I love this.
Yang
so
siapa guys?
And they also got that sustain coming out from that Netherrealm.
Ada yang
So I think this kind of goes to show that RRQ Hoshi is pretty much willing to go for the team fights that DEUS VULT.
Ini ada yang KB sih. Kalian mau yang caster Indo aja guys.
I mean, this is a great time. DEUS VULT has first pick now. They have Prio, and the Arlot would be an excellent pickup for the XP lane, but they're gonna go in for the Ruby instead. I mean, okay, I get it. Ruby is the most picked hero so far for Game of Thrones 2024, but the Arlot would have been such a great answer with that Demon Gaze that it could have provided. But at least they have a little bit more sustainability, so they have a lot of CC now on the side of DEUS VULT from the Navaria.
Ini ya yang sama Colius.
Iya, makanya gue bilang tadi Beatrix 131 ini.
Beatrix nggak sih? Kalau Ixia kayak terancam.
Enggak, jangan Ixia nggak sih?
Ixia terancam banget guys.
Oh, Mark di mute, kaget gue suara Mark tiba-tiba hilang.
Wih, Nathan. Oh, dia fisikalnya dari BNN.
Wah, kita bisa pick.
Oh, karena ini pet, karena Purify. Gila, RRQ
kenceng
telah
banget ya?
5 season guys buat ambil Nathan. Bapet emang bener-bener ya.
Tapi jadi jelek guys.
Gara-gara vial guys.
Gak apa-apa, ngeblur dikit.
Dari season 8. Harus season 13 guys, 5 season loh.
Gua udah ngomong kita bisa gak jadi.
Mana sih?
Mas mana Cok?
Membawa. Gak ada lo tadi aku cari. Jadi mau setting, boleh sok cobain aja. Kalau mau setting aku nggak ngerti. Silakan.
K-pop?
Coba ya. Sabar, aku sambil mencari.
Buat romer berarti.
Wow.
Gua kira tadi Guinya tetap jungler kan.
Harusnya 30 sih.
Bomba.
Gede banget Cok suaranya Cok.
Dia Ruby berarti Pet.
Iya, berarti Ruby. Maksudnya Ice sama kuat gak sih ini? Cuman enakan RRQ kan ada ini sih siapa?
Harusnya. Dia gara-gara ada
Gak ada lo.
Faramis Matilda Barat. Kuat ya guys.
Kuat ini?
Dia nggak live.
Minum guys.
Bentar ya, kok di aku mandak sih guys.
Guys, berarti in game-nya bakal cerah banget ini.
Udah berlalu 5
Wait ya, bentar. Di aku jadi mandak, kenapa ya?
Ini Nathannya bakal build apa ya?
Sorry, aku balikin dulu ke yang awal aja deh. Takutnya nanti pas game malah mati.
Of RRQ Hoshi, as we are now getting ready to jump into the most anticipated match of the Game of Futures 2024 group stage. RRQ out from Indonesia going up against DEUS VULT from Russia. Who will be able to claim
mundurin dikit lah.
2024 group stage? RRQ out from Indonesia going up against DEUS VULT from Russia. Who will be able to claim this series?
Yeah, Busco going
Game of Future Indonesia.
RRQ Hoshi, knowing that Magister
Game kedua lah ya.
with that red buff. maybe possibly just trying to
Biar
be
nggak
a menace
ganti-ganti.
here, or a nuisance rather, in
Game
the
kedua
jungle
nanti
here
aku
against DEUS VULT. Even Octa is here rotating towards them, but Kid Bomba though on the top side, a solo kill being picked up there by the Benedetta, by Banana here of RRQ HOSHI, but Brusco right now getting dealt with here by Sawo, being punished there for overextending.
A quick response, 1-1 on the board. Man,
Cek di live-nya
not too
RRQ.
often do you see a
Oke ya.
Ruby fall.
Nanti game
This
kedua
early
deh
in the
aku
game is one of the most sustainable
iniin.
heroes,
Aku
especially
pindahin.
on a 1v1. I mean, a Ruby can 1v3 when teams try and dive her, just with the amount of CC she has available. Kid Bomba just kind of being a little too overly aggressive. Gotta put some respect on Banana with that Benedetta. I mean, he's a Benedetta main so far, at least for the game of futures, with how well he's been executing. But I will say, Kid Bomba, another up-and-coming prospect in the XP lane, can definitely give him a little bit of a challenge. But you are going to see the other death on the other side of the table. That is going to be Sawo, who did pick up the assist.
Atau ada ininya nggak, ada apa linknya? Kenapa udah satu-satu lagi killnya? Ya ampun.
The emblems here too for both sides. RRQ HOSHI, a lot of those quantum charges coming out from Banana and Brusco, just to have that extra mobility for their team. And RRQ right now, lots of pressure on the XP lanes. A thing that we've seen in other teams too. Pressure out the XP lanes so that they can
Kita
have
fokus dulu ya guys ya.
really good position when it comes to these turtle fights. And we all know that the turtle fights, it's a tug of war between the two teams. Sawo does not have that ultimate just yet. Turtles at half HP, and it's actually going to be a reset here by both sides. 1-1 in the 2-minute mark. No one's still in the lead right now, but everyone is looking to take it in for themselves by at least taking in the first objective here, which is going to be the turtle.
You know, and I kind of said I was favoring DEUS VULT's draft, but honestly, I'm liking both sides. This may be the best drafting I've seen so far in Game of Futures 2024. Both of them have great synergy. You have the Mathilda to use the guiding wind to be able to keep Barats alive and get him to safety when needed. There goes that circling eagle over there.
Ini kalau RRQ bisa 2-0 lagi, wah.
You're going to see Banana taking some damage, use the elective on a blow. Irad will be able to claim the turtle.
Ketarik.
RRQ HOSHI, and now a possible
Itu belakang dong.
Magister very low. Special migration in. Sawo takes down Banana. Octa finds Magister. Both sides still even on the scoreboard, 2-2, but RRQ HOSHI takes the first neutral
sama apa itu?
objective.
Jungler ya?
Yeah, definitely a better trade there. Let's take a look at the replay. What actually went down was Banana goes in for the electro final blow, and then you got in that nether realm from Octa to save the day. It was a 1-for-1 trade. Banana was punished, but for the price of Magister, definitely worth it here for RRQ HOSHI.
Definitely worth it indeed, but it's still pretty even in terms of the economy. You're looking at RRQ HOSHI leading by about 700 gold. Keep in mind, this is one of the top regions in MLBB, Indonesia. DEUS VULT's definitely having a lot to prove here on how far they have came as a region from Russia, right? They placed 4th place inside of M5, taken down by Blacklist from the Philippines, but now gonna go ahead and show Indonesia what they're about. RRQ HOSHI looking stronger than ever though with that first neutral.
Tapi ini early-nya lumayan gak sih
RRQ?
RRQ? Ya pun ya masih seimbang cuman.
Looking at the side laner, Skylar is going to be running this Nathan going up against Hiko.
Si mending daripada kemarin gak sih?
Both of them late game damage dealers, but definitely can hit very hard if both teams can scale. So I would say needing to kind of put some pressure in the gold lane would be a really good start for either side if they want to try and take advantage, at least for the early game, and have mid control.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here too for split pushes coming out from RRQ. They got the Benedetta. They also got in Nathan, but there you go, Irad getting it. Sunset Lover there. Nice setup there by Brusco to enable that play coming out from RRQ HOSHI. This is big, especially before the turtle fight. You don't have the vision coming out from the Navaria, and this is something that they definitely need right now because you see the zoning that Banana has been doing, and at the same time the Netherrealm to keep everyone healthy when it comes to these team fights.
Okay, Bennett lagi ya.
Going to be starting it up. Let's take a look at the items here. So far, we actually see the Claude here. Hiko actually picking up the corrosion side, and for Nathan, it's a very early pickup on the penetration boost. So he actually wants to go in for that magic burst damage. And then to add it all up, I think he's building up that Holy Crystal for his next item.
Ooh, special migration with the knockup. Astro Echo going down from Sunset Lever, forcing out the Nether Realm. Everybody's still intact though. Turtle does get reset. Both teams still fighting it out. Det is both connected. Irad for the stun on the wall. Kid Bomba
gets petrified.
But Kid Bomba able to get out in time. Big play.
Cute bomba ya. Emang dari M5.
Able to sustain himself. Both teams still fight it out. Turtle at about 50% HP.
Tapi gak mungkin gak sih tuh Martisnya kayak low banget. Iya mati pula Martisnya. Halo, hai. Aduh Irat. Wah, masih selamat. Itu dia. Balik gak sih? Boleh si Irat. Tapi kayaknya Brusco ini tank bisa support bisa ya. Ketarik.
You got all these heavy CC, the rubies, the minotaurs that seem to be the prio pick here of a lot of the teams. And with the Matilda, it just provides so much shield. You see how much Irad was taken in earlier, and with that guided winning, just like that, he was able to escape that clash. You see how fast the turrets are being pushed here over at the top side and the bottom side. The same case that happened also for Burmese Fools. The space that is being given here right now. Look at all the creeps. It's being taken away here by RRQ HOSHI against Magister. That has been picked off twice already in this game.
Yeah, RRQ HOSHI just way quicker to these objectives, putting these folks in an awkward position. Hiko.
Wah gila, wah Skylar.
Aduh. The final blow. It gets back out to safety with the power of entropy.
Itu dia. Apakah ini kunci, guys?
You did see Irad pick up the blade armor too. Already prepping for Hiko as he gets a couple more of those core items such as that golden staff.
Aduh, mental. Brusco. Aduh, di dalam turret lagi. Aduh, ketarik semua lagi. Masih pada hidup, guys? Masih pada hidup? What? Yo.
6-3, RRQ
Oh,
HOSHI
tadi?
leading the early game.
Let's take a look at that replay. Nice circling eagle there for RRQ HOSHI. They got that nice setup from Sawo though, and that tug in from Kid Bomba. It was only
yang mati cuman
paid the price there, and that's what we really get when you have that Nether Realm up, right? Like you're able to sustain anyone, you're able to do all these aggressive dives that RRQ HOSHI
udah lama aku cari-cari
has
YouTube
been doing
mau nggak
even
ketemu.
under the turret here
Kok bisa
of
gitu?
DEUS VULT. Here comes the
kok.
from the side of DEUS VULT. I think it is going to go to the side of RRQ HOSHI here, but here comes the Circle Eagle once again for Brusco.
Aduh, itu Martisnya sedikit lagi ya guys ya. Apa? Abis ini ban Matilda sih pasti mereka. Janganlah, kasih lagi aja Matilda.
Not only providing the escapes, but providing the shields when necessary to negate the damage.
Wow, look at the gold here of Banana, 6,370.
Itu dia.
Itu dia. Bomba has, who's standing at the 4,399. I mean, even the Matilda here has so much more gold. And look at this, ongoing fights all across the board. Sawo.
Irat.
Irat's taking up a lot of the damage this time, not able to get out the blazing duet to clear out the waves, and that is gonna be the Irad for the price of taking in the turrets here. It is still gonna be DEUS VULT finding something out of that one.
It's funny you were talking about Banana's gold. He even had more gold than Hiko, and he's in the gold lane.
Oh yeah.
That just shows you how well Banana is performing today. As you are going to go ahead and see the Lord take the tier 2 turret on the bot side. The map opening up for the side of RRQ HOSHI.
Udah ganti Banana ya namanya.
So far, having a hard time
udah nggak pakai nicknya Yunjin.
By 5,000 gold, highest kills on the game. It's a tie between Skylar and Banana. A battle from the side laners who we mentioned having such a strong game, especially when they went up against Team Logan. They had a hard time just beating them on the one-on-one matchups in the side lanes, and this is where RRQ HOSHI thrives. You're able to see Skylar often be able to beat his opponent in that lane, and the same thing with Banana running the Benedetta, able to out-rotate.
Waduh.
Wah.
Aduh, masih bisa kabur. Banana jangan nggak sih, mati nanti. Aduh sayang banget. Gak keambil siapa-siapa. Padahal tadi udah ini lagi. Tapi kayaknya barasnya tebal banget ya.
10 minutes in, RRQ Hoshi with a 32k lead, and of course the real estate that is really pricey these days.
Wah,
And
Martisnya
something that RRQ Hoshi
tidak
definitely
main,
has
guys.
in this game. Not only that, they
Kasihan
can also
Levi.
get all the resources around the map. These Fold not able to take anything in as of the moment. And 30 seconds in, we're gonna be seeing the first lot of gates spawn in the Land of Dawn. As for Deus Fold, they really need to have these nice setups coming out from Kid Bomba or Sao.
Lumayan, 6.000
And so
loh
far they've been
goldnya.
getting it, but what's really hard is Octa's been popping in that Nether Realm, which is kind of like everybody's health is all the way back up to full, so pretty much nullifies what the setups are doing. But what they really need right now is going to be the Blazing Duet coming out from Hiko. I saw that he actually picked up the Demon Hunter Sword already, maybe going in for the Golden Staff for his next item, so he should be able to dish a great amount of damage once it at least reaches the 15 mark of the game. But RRQ Hoshi is not letting up. They're going to be taking in this Lord without any contest at all from Deus Volt.
And Deus Volt needs to watch out for Skylar. He's already 2,000 gold ahead of Hiko. I mean, you see how fast he shredded down that Lord, and that's just kind of a little bit of a preview on what he's going to be able to do if it comes to these 5v5 engagements if Deus Volt is not careful. Now, they need to find a way to turn this around, right? It's not too far out of the ballpark yet for them to have a chance to turn this game in their favor, but they may have to start playing for the late game. I mean, you're seeing this Lord crash in. They're down to their inhibitors already at the 12-minute mark, and RRQ Hoshi going in for blood.
Mati. Oh, itu dia. Damage-nya luar biasa sekali ya si Banana ini. Oh, masih bisa kabur, masih bisa kabur. Ada Blazing Duet. Itu sih kenapa Martisnya seperti itu? Ah, gua kira sama Deus Volt bakal ini loh, bakal susah atau ya gimana gitu loh. Tengah. Oh yes, kena tuh, hati-hati. Skip bomba ini mengejutkan sekali ya kadang-kadang. Gila, mereka kayak enak banget. Apakah ini karena early yang baik? Udah gak sih Bruce, kok gila banget dia masuk terus. Pancing terus.
Deus Volt trying to contest, giving it their all, but RRQ Hoshi holding that Indonesian flag high, letting them know, Viva RRQ. Deus Volt's definitely need to find a way to turn this around.
Deus Volt tuh itu kan
11.3
tuan rumah.
For Skylar here, and
Kalau sampai mereka kalah gila sih.
yes, he does have the core items here of the Claude, but the timing here of the Nether Realm too is something that they have to watch out for, not to mention the free hits here of Skylar, who hasn't been shut down just yet. 401 rather on the Nathan. 45 seconds in, one more Lord here could actually be in here for the side of Deus Volt. They got the Nathan here. They got the Barrets to tank everything up, not to mention the shields that Brusco have been providing. Iran has already picked up that immortality, so kind of gearing up for that final fight here up against Deus Volt.
The seal play has been called out though, special migration for the knock-up debt is welcome going down. Sawo taking some heavy hits, is going to be able to get out to safety, making the most out of the Guinevere with engage and disengage from that spatial migration. But now, look at RQ Hoshi, already on to the next objective. They've been doing this entire game. That hive mentality, everybody moving as a unit. Gonna go in for this Lord, and Deus Volt's not in a position to contest, but they may try to, as look at Kid Bomba thirsty for a set he needs.
Tapi kalau War kayaknya kalah gak sih Deus Volt? Wah, itu siapa ketangkap Brusco. Kabur! Aduh, untung Matilda tuh mobility-nya. Hati-hati gak sih Banana? Duh. Aman. Mati. Kejar. Oh, Banana. Aduh. Dikira bakal end. Kok mereka tuh kayak cepet ya geraknya?
You see how RRQ
Perpindahan.
was just baiting out all of those ultimates, baiting those purifies from the side of Deus.
Kalau aku
Also,
jalan
they
tuh kayak
don't have
lelet banget.
anything. Once they headed to the Lord fight, it was a free Lord for RRQ. But
Selesai RRQ main login nggak?
Just to make sure that the minion waves
Kayaknya
will
nggak
go
mau
to the side
istirahat.
of Deus, pressuring them to go back to their base.
Sedang
50
sakit.
minutes in, 50,000 for the side of
Nanti nggak tahu
RRQ
nih Onyx
Hoshi.
nih.
It's almost an 11k lead for the Kingdom, and they're looking to take in this first game up against Deus Volt. Here comes the Lord. 50-minute marks, the enhanced Lord for the side of RRQ Hoshi. The only thing here for Deus Volt to do is to have that setup, but right now the mobility, the shields that is being provided here by Brusco is not something that they can easily deal with. Here comes the setup from the side of Sawo, but Brusco comes in with a
Gila.
clapback.
Mati dua. Gila. Kayak enak banget guys nggak killnya. Gak sih udah. Wah ini dia. Harusnya kayak gini RRQ kemarin juga. 2-0 lah please. Bisa beristirahat.
I mean, this is what we expected, right? A matchup just like this.
Keren,
RRQ Hoshi and Deus Volt. RRQ Hoshi just stopped the tracks here at Deus Volt. Like,
Kalau sakit jangan
that
dipaksain.
Matilda, which is
Iya.
actually one of the top picks
Tapi
right
pengen
now.
main juga
You
sih bosen,
understand
cuman nggak
why
tahu
these teams have been
malaman
banning
mungkin
it, the
ya.
way you see the shields that were provided, and not to
Pengen
mention
main, udah
RRQ
lama
Hoshi
nggak
have
main.
that
Dari kemarin aku cuma
nether
main
from that
practice
Pyramid. So
doang.
every single fight here from RRQ Hoshi, they
Kayak
are
pengen main
sure that
1-2
they can
game
come
udah
out
gitu.
alive. Deus Volt had some
Tapi ini
nice thugs there
emang
from
mual
Kid
banget
Bomba,
sih.
some setups here from Sawo. There was the Purify, there's the Red Realm, so there was just so many things that Deus Volt had to consider once they go for the
Itu
setup
dia.
plays.
Kenapa sih dari tadi itu dia? Jangan menangis. Kenapa nangis? Tersenyum. Ih kenapa sih ini ngeblur terus? Iya tapi kok kemarin lihat scene R7 casternya kok Indo ya? Sumpah dah. Mana sih? Aku dari tadi nyari. Tuh nggak nemu. Kalau kalian bisa kasih linknya aku pasang deh. Di sini tuh yang ada cuman KB. Coba kita lihat yang RRQ ya. Mana RRQ?
This was on a Ruby. That's the most sustainable hero in the XP lane.
Kok nggak ada
You
RRQ?
definitely have to play it a little bit better if you're gonna have a chance to turn this around.
Emang sih tadi aku pas pasang yang RRQ, suaranya kayak suara Indo, terus kayak
both RRQ and Deus Volt, right? Like the thing that
Anda
Banana
nonton di
actually did
mana?
there in that early game, he didn't have that elective final blow, and
tuh lihat kayak
Kid Bomba
apa
did
sih
not have the
yang di
ultimate
komennya
to
juga pada
see
nanya
yet,
nonton
and
caster
right,
Indo di
the pressure
mana?
on the XP lane is so heavy right now, which is kind of why you see a lot of these players have actually been prioritizing the XP lane pickups. You see sometimes the CC being picked up first, the Ruby, right? Like being picked up first, and even the Paquito as well, which sometimes is a priority pick for some of the teams, but it goes to show how heavy the impact of the XP laner is
Ada
right now.
penjelasan.
Yeah, and we didn't really get to see Kid Bomba really open up these engagements, especially with the Ruby. You have the I'm offended.
Sumpah nggak tahu di mana. Kalau ada yang punya source-nya boleh kasih. Tapi serius aku kira lawan si Deus Volt ini bakal kayak kemarin lah minimal gitu, kayak kemarin. Kemarin aja sama Lilgan kayak lebih kesusahan gitu nggak sih?
For game number 1,
Kok ini
going to do a blast from the past, a little bit of showcasing on that flawless execution. Irad able to get that turtle, and then the aggressive play, the full sin into the tier 2 turn for the top state. Spatial migration from Sawo takes down
Udah beberapa bulan yang
Banana.
nggak masuk live nggak tahu. Divacom.
Yeah, the thing here too about the Deus Volt and RRQ Hoshi's
Aduh, sakit banget perut
gue.
gua.
Not only do they have shields, not only do they have the Nether Realm, but Sawo really had a hard time setting up the plays here, right? Like it was only possible up to Kid Bomba to make in the place, because look at the spells here for RRQ Hoshi. That's 3 purifies from their side, so you can imagine the frustration too of Sawo. Like he gets a nice 3-man knock,
Tapi kayak bukan suara.
having the purify in, there's really nothing much you can do unless you catch them in a position where they don't have it, right? And
Cimomo ya?
point, like you know, all of those ultimates being tossed, you're still able to escape. All because of the Nether Realm, all because of that guiding mint from the Matilda. And we did mention it was going to be an all-out brawl here for both sides, right? Looking at their team composition,
Tapi
this was just screaming team fights after team fights, and RRQ Hoshi definitely did that so well. I have to commend Banana here on the early game. He gave so much space here for Skylar to be able to scale up on this lane, and by the time
Ini tuh tapi kualitasnya ngeblur banget gitu loh. Nanti kalau aku masukin ke live aku, tambah ngeblur nggak sih?
You see how Banana was actually zoning in the
segini aja kan
backlines
udah
for
rada
Irad to actually take in
burik gitu.
the major objective versus the Lord.
Ini padahal aku udah paling tinggi loh.
Have been invested, but at the same time, the vision here of DEUS VULT was not enough. The sustainability was way too heavy here for them to take.
Udah lah, nggak apa-apa lah ya guys ya, yang Inggris. Nanti kalau misalkan MPL, nah itu kan Indo puas-puasin lah.
Nothing that they could do. And we did mention a lot about Skylar. Actually, this is twice that we've seen the Nathan on the MVP. Earlier we've seen the
TikTok dulu, ntar kesini lagi. Silahkan. Dari tadi Nathan nih yang jadi MVP. Jadi aku lihat yang sebelumnya. Nathan lagi OP katanya. Udahlah. Aku belum bikin story, lupa.
The glue holding the pages together would definitely be Octa, right? He was running on that Faramis, and it wasn't given a lot of credit to him keeping the team alive. He was doing a lot of good things with the Nether Realm, waiting till a couple of the members would get low, and then putting them pretty much back to full HP. And then also giving credit to the rotations with running that Mathilda to also keep them alive when things got a little tricky. There was a lot of guiding win plays and overall some flawless execution over there from Brusco. I think the double support meta stacked up with the Barats is very hard to deal with, and looks like DEUS VULT just did not have an answer. Jumping into the next game, I mean, I think me and you both can agree that we may see that Mathilda banned out.
Yeah, I mean, the first pick for RRQ Hoshi, definitely they will take in the Mathilda, and then you pair it up with a Barret. It's definitely a combo that is super sustainable, to the point that even with the Blazing Duet here of Hiko, there's really nothing that DEUS VULT can do in all of those clashes. And not to mention, by the time Skylar was activated, it was really something that they had to think of, right? Skylar had that Purify, Sawo couldn't take him down, Hiko also had to take into consideration that Banana was actually trying to take him down too in the back lines, and Sunset Lover too. Even with the vision that he was providing, RRQ Hoshi just stands on top when it comes to those team fights, and it was all because of the double support meta that still worked out really well. And at this point, the Faramis also built it to be like a magic damage Faramis, right? Getting that cult altar up, and to think about it, if I'm the one playing the Faramis, right, like clicking that ultimate is gonna be so vital. Like you have to know when to click it, you have to know when to time it too, and that's actually what RRQ did so well here in this match.
Aku penasaran Clay main nggak ya? Apa ini sengaja buat ngasih jam terbang? Nanti mereka ini main di MPL kan? Kucingku berteriak.
I mean, there was so much CC that he could have profited on, especially with the Guinevere and Sunset Lover on that Devaria. It's just like a well synergized combo. The Ruby's great too. I just think it can kind of, the Ruby's one of those heroes that can fit in pretty much any draft. But I just feel like the Arlot could have kind of profited a little bit more. We didn't really get to see them explode too much in the side lanes, and they lost all of the objectives in the early phase. RRQ Hoshi, eyes on the prize, laser focused, able to kind of have that beehive mentality, right? They're all moving as a unit. One sound beat, able to take every single objective and a moment's notice. And I think if DEUS VULT wants a way to turn this around, they have to first start off by being patient inside of the side lanes. You cannot overextend. You know Skylar is going to beat you in that gold lane. It's just been proven with how well he's been performing in Game of Futures 2024. So instead of trying to test out how good Skylar is or how good Banana is, just play safe and wait for your team to either rotate to the side lanes or to win the neutral objectives. I think that's where you can beat them. If you try and take the 1v1 matchups, it's just been proven RRQ Hoshi can just do it.
Kayaknya terus deketin dulu deh, terlalu jauh.
Yeah, the thing too about
turret damage Skylar 100% bisa gitu ya.
Team fight eccentric. I mean, you have to be grouped up, right? Because you got the Matilda,
Foto
you got
kucing.
the Faramis. There's really nothing to worry about. Even if you do those turret times that we've
Berarti dari tadi Skylar kerjaannya apa? Nge-push turret. Sangat objektif.
there's really nothing
Mereka
much to fear, and RRQ
udah nggak
understood
peduli
that.
kill
Every
kayaknya.
single
Yang
team
penting
fight,
saya
they commit to it,
push
and
turret.
they execute it really well. And for
Apa ya?
Deus,
Ada suara
they try
kucing.
to
Gak
get
tau
into
kedengeran atau
setups,
enggak
but
nih di
again,
sini.
the Purifiers are such a new sauce. Not only the Purify, the Nether Realm, and the shields being provided by the Guiding Wind, it's way too much to handle there for all the team fights that Deus wanted to happen.
And keep in mind, guys, the winner of this series is going to move on to stage 2
Apa ya?
of the playoffs.
Sangat
Nobody's getting
panas.
knocked out here. This is just a battle of placement in the playoffs. Whoever loses this series will go to stage 1, and you'll be seeing them compete first, which means they have an easier chance of being knocked out because they're not as high on the bracket as whoever wins this winner's match. So far, RRQ HOSHI does have the slightest advantage. They are up 1-0. This is match point. They have a chance to get a sweep over DEUS VULT.
Ngeri ya kemarin Onyx apalagi Keyboy-nya. Pas Keyboy pakai Tigreal.
For a reason, taking on a lot of heavy
Gila sih.
contenders and taking the world by a storm. We just gotta find
Kok
a way
bisa
for
nggak ya
them
ngasih
to
lihat
get
ini?
alive in the early game. Like I said, I don't like seeing one-sided stories.
Kucing.
I want to see this go to game 3. I'd love to see matches that kind of
Kucing
keep you
lagi
at the
nungguin
edge of your
makanan
seat.
coba.
And I
Lucu
think
sekali.
they are a team.
Wasos
that
nih
can
kalau nanti ketemu
potentially
RRQ,
do
nah itu
Yeah,
berat.
for RRQ HOSHI, Deus VULT, we
Tapi
did-
menurut aku ya
we were
RRQ
expecting a 2-1
kalau
coming
segini
out
aja
from
udah
this
bisa
BO3, right? And Deus VULT was considered one of the dark
apa?
horses back in M5. So I think
Kompak.
coming in here, it is
Berapa bulan
really
sih?
interesting too to see how Deus VULT will
Aku
kind of
lupa.
take this back.
2 bulan ada nggak
to
mereka?
the right-
3 bulan, 3
driver's
bulan.
seat
Dari
back.
Desember ya?
And for RRQ HOSHI, right, if they want to take this entire
Udah
thing,
bagus
let's
nggak
see
sih
what
gamenya kayak
adjustments
gini?
that Deus VULT will make ultimately in the next game. And as for RRQ HOSHI, I think
Gak apa-apa,
you
kita
know, they're that
optimis
kind of
saja.
team that just kind of adjust to what the other team will bring out here. And it's going to be crucial too, who's going to be on the blue side and who's going to be on the red side.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be crucial. I want to see which way it goes. Like I
Ah,
said,
ngapa
this
tiba-tiba?
match, I anticipated it being the
Hah?
best one out of the entire group stage. But honestly, I mean, I really enjoyed the last one with Nico and Memex
Aman
just
aja.
as much. But I want to see DEUS VULT turn this around. I want to see them
Selamat
be able to
kalian
have a way
tiba-tiba.
to get back into this series because they are a heavy contender and one of the underdogs that I would
Maaf,
consider.
lagi
RRQ
ngobrol
HOSHI,
sama
I guess
mama.
you can say the same thing because
Sama
they
Mumzi.
did not compete in the M series, but they are from one
Kenapa
of the
tuh?
best perspective regions in Indonesia. So
Iya, ada anak kucing guys, jadinya semuanya pengen di kamar saya. Ayo
Ayo
next round cepat, saya sakit perut. Aku butuh goleran. Kan dari tadi dia ke belakang-belakang. Wih, sekarang ada lagunya guys. Ada iklannya. Apakah ini sebuah pertanda? Oh enggak ding, gitu doang.
What is the scent? Do you feel
Siapa
it?
pula ini?
What is the smell? This is the smell
Ih,
of the
lama
fever,
kali lah
the
jangan bilang
scent
ini
of
ada
the
interview
battle. I'm really scary, but this is the scent of the wind too. You
Why,
know
bro?
You know why? Because today
Ya
is
review
the
mereka ini pasti
group stage,
karena
and
pas
let's go find
RRQ.
out how it's going on.
Oh enggak guys, dikira interview guys. Oh ini itunya kah? Kayak bukan ding? Nobar dong. Aku
Who you
kira
gonna play today?
mic check.
Wait, Devil.
Are they strong?
Ini namanya lucu.
Strong. They are strong.
Are you scared of them?
Now,
You're scary?
why? We will try our best to beat them.
Хороший оппонент.
Хороший оппонент.
Да, кто лучше задрафтит, тот выиграет.
Ih, dia udah ngomong gitu terus kalah, gimana ya perasaannya? Bisa nih bikin pulau dulu. Pulau apa?
Are you nervous?
Kita bikin, aduh, Onyx.
Nobody?
Kita bikin pulau.
Can I show? Can I show?
Maksudnya,
Is she a hero from the MLBB? No.
bukannya mereka tuh udah putus? Atau aku yang salah info ya? Ah, gak peduli. Maksudnya itu main supermarket dulu ya guys ya. Tapi nggak enak main lagi sakit kayak gitu, bener-bener nggak enak.
He's focused on the game.
No, this is just custom.
He don't listen to me. Она для чего?
Для подготовки руки.
И это помогает тебе в игре?
Ну, не знаю.
Ну, может, как психологически, да, разгружает?
Да.
Посмотрите, как у него кресло опущено. Это для того, чтобы резко лечь, быстренько поспать и снова в игру.
Разворачивает Икс, свою ульту должна всех добивать.
How how your day is going on?
We're just watching some games.
Nah, ini.
You know, this is the group that we're playing in, so I think we're getting some ideas from how they're playing, and then we'll be playing against homeboys later on in a few minutes.
Lawan yang
actually.
sulit.
So I think we're pretty much set.
Udil main itu di situ. Aku nggak lihat tadi ada namanya nggak?
Какую бы суперсилу хотел бы изыграть?
Давай я гляну героев.
Homeboys kan?
Пикачу.
Pindah.
I just want
Lupa aku.
Link Superpower. Link.
Link Superpower.
Yeah. Then I want to jump every wall.
Jump everywhere. So you can hide and seek some girls.
Think like Paquito.
Paquito.
He can punch everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So you wanna punch everyone?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Iya lagi.
I'm scared of you.
Я бы
Lucu
хотел
banget.
телепортацию.
Телепортацию?
Да. Probably teleporting because I really miss my girlfriend.
Тоже телепортация.
Может быть, летать? Ты бы ограбил банк?
Нет, зачем мне эти банки? Я бы не летал на этих самолетах по 2 часов.
Нет,
телепортация
сильнее.
You telling me that you are missing your
Kakak,
girlfriend because
kenapa?
filming? Because she can.
Kenapa?
I actually do.
Hello?
But if I find this video anywhere, I'll probably send her.
А вот это вообще не кстати потеря. А зачем?
Berbahagialah kalian kalau nggak gampang sakit, guys.
Ну что ж, дорогие друзья, мы с вами все наблюдали за групповыми этапами. Было вайбово, было тепло, было очень круто.
Siap,
Ну,
siap,
а
Bang.
результаты
Ya,
вы
let's go,
сами
Bang.
все можете увидеть на своих экранах.
Bang, ayo bang. Nah, bentar lagi kembali.
Welcome back to Group A Round 2 after the amazing intermission video.
Yang
Now,
step
let's
Wheezy
just
ini
kinda
dia
talk
pakai
about what we've
kuning,
seen
berarti
so
dia
far.
dukung
We're
RRQ
currently
nggak
on
sih?
the winners match for Group Stage A. We got to see RRQ Hoshi go up against
Atau ini
DEUS for
memang
round
dress
one.
code-nya ya?
And man, was it a show. RRQ Hoshi completely dominated, more of a one-sided match, able to take control in the side lanes. Banana and Skylar paving the way for Indonesia.
Mereka nyadar nggak ya kalau Banana sama Jinaisan tuh sama aku orang yang sama? Oke. Tadi sama aku ini nggak dinaikin karena aku telat masuk, mohon maaf. Aku ada saran game. Silakan. RRQ bukannya orange ya juga sih. Kayaknya ini kuning ininya aja ya. Temanya mereka ya kuning. Sebenarnya RRQ dibilang orange juga enggak tahu. Warnanya tuh kayak nggak tahu lah, aku susah menjelaskannya. Cuma aku kayak tahu gitu karena aku sering ngutak-ngatik sama nama kan. Nama, kok nama sih, Cok? Ngutak-ngatik warna. Kalau lagi bantuin cici aku gambar. RRQ tuh not necessarily orange gitu loh. Cuma memang ya paling gampang orange sih. Aku ada saran game, iya apa? Tadi aku sudah bertanya apa? Dihapus pula chatnya. Saran game. Please jangan game horror, please demi apapun.
With RRQ Hoshi having second pick, I think they're going to try and get the CC.
Aku tidak kuat dengan game
horror.
horror.
I think they're going to try and bait DEUS VULT, and I don't think they're going to expect DEUS VULT to pick it up. So I think they'll try and get the CC here. And then maybe, since they don't have the Mathilda, go for like some single target CC. It seems like that's their plan. Grab the CC and then go for like a Kaja or
ya akhirnya Mathildanya di-ban sama mereka sendiri.
The way the draft played out, and they may actually be able to pull it off. I wonder if DEUS VULT will pick up the CC if it is available.
DEUS VULT ini kayaknya lebih concern sama Irat ya.
But after seeing Game of Futures in day one, I can definitely tell you it is.
Ban Lancelot nggak sih kalau kayak gitu? Kakak suka story atau horor? Nggak suka horor sebenarnya. Gini deh, gak suka horor yang mekanik, yang harus kayak muter-muter jalan gitu. Oh nggak suka, nyari-nyari. Aku sukanya yang jalan lurus doang. Seandainya horor pun dia jalan lurus doang gitu. Tapi kemarin aku main horor aja udah teriakannya kayak gitu, gimana kalau yang horor gitu. Story itu maksudnya kayak apa sih? Story juga aku suka aja sih sebenarnya. Aku tahu mau main apa. Kalian suka nggak ya? Tapi aku nggak tahu nih. Observation duty. Yang nyari-nyari
first pick. The Matilda's already out, so
Anomali.
maybe they can go with the safe pick, or maybe
Nyari-nyari
they
yang
can
aneh.
pick up the Barretts for themselves, right?
Kalau bisa mah main Little Nightmare aja kah, seru. Little Nightmare. Oh, tahu. Itu ngapain sih, aku kan rada nggak ngerti. Kayak cuman maju terus gitu kan. Kalau misalkan Little Nightmare mungkin masih bisa. Ada horror bug. Tunggu kelewat. Tahu game Coral Island nggak? Itu farming gitu. Coral Island? Kayaknya aku pernah denger deh. Yang game Indo kan? Tapi aku belum main. Aku harus lihat dulu. Ada horror buckshot roulette. Buckshot. Buckshot roulette. Nanti aku cek ya. Itu di Steam atau di mana? Gas. Gas apa? Bagus itu. Gas yang mana ini? Lebih spesifik. Coral Island? Gas? Iya, katanya pengen yang maju terus, horror dikit, story ada. Iya, betul juga sih. Tapi emang Little Nightmare tuh horror ya? Bukannya? Oh, ada kejar-kejarannya sih. Tapi itu mekanik, Cok. Ya nggak sih? Kita harus lari-lari, loncat-loncat, menghindari yang ngejar nggak sih? Seingat aku pernah nonton ada yang adegan yang kita dikejar gitu nggak sih? Lo tuh panikan. Makanya tadinya pengen mainnya tuh ini. Aduh, aku lupa namanya. Kayak yang tinggal ngeklik dong. Little Nightmare bagus tuh. Iya, mekanik. Yang anomali. Oh, tertarik kalian anomali? Gue beli nih. Observation Duty 1-6 gue beli semua.
They may force out the Diggy pickup though, as they are going to go ahead and pick up this Minotaur. That's a smart decision because, like I said, I would see them taking up that suppression if they didn't. But I wonder if RRQ
Saya harus bernapas.
even worried about it or not. Will they go in for the Diggy? It seems like VULT is trying to bait them into doing this, especially picking that up when they still have another pick.
Oh, ribet Little Nightmare. Kalau mau yang gampang, No. 5 Nights at Freddy. No. Jump scare-nya too much. For me. No. Udah gila. Don't Scream. Lu nggak salah ngusulin Don't Scream. Yang literally aku ngelihat bukan setan aja gue teriak, Cok.
Yeah, I mean, in total range, you definitely have to give it to the Varia, but for the
Dasar
Lilia,
kalian
they
nih
can
memang
clear out the wave so fast.
ingin menyiksa
Unlike
saya.
this is gonna be the answer to these,
Don't Scream tuh yang dimainin Lemon bukan sih?
melee, right? Like the Minotaur,
Kayaknya aku pernah lihat
the Ruby.
ininya deh,
It also
cuplikannya
has
di
the black
TikTok.
shoes if you want to escape death, so you can kind of have that second chance.
No semua.
And then for RRQ,
Ih, aku nggak bilang no semua loh.
here, they can totally do that,
Tadi aku
but
bilang observation
is
duty.
the Guinevere gonna be in the XP lane, or is it gonna be in the jungler role, or is the CC gonna be the jungler role?
Ya,
or
Don't
is it
Scream.
gonna be,
Tapi
is it gonna be in the
gimana
XP
caranya
lane?
Don't
That's gonna be
Scream?
a big thing that they have to consider too. Like the overall picture
Little
of
Nightmare
their
boleh
lineup.
kok aku
They take
cobain
some of the gold
nanti.
laners here, both sides
Tapi
still
palingan
don't
kalau
have any
kalah
gold
ya
laners just
udah
yet,
gitu,
so they
mohon
take away the
maaf.
Iksha. That is also really good, right? Like you got these.
Tadi yang roulette itu aku cek dulu ya, aku nggak tahu kayak apa gamenya.
That is a lot of range, like the
Game
Varia
ramah
and
juga,
the
maksudnya
Iksha
game
is gonna be
ramah?
so good in team fight. So I like this band coming out from RRQ.
You know, and it's funny too because
Kita nggak lihat draft picknya sampai udah mau penuh lagi, guys. Belum nih?
It just shows you how comfortable and confident RRQ HOSHI is not to go for that direct counter, but to try and work through a Minoan Fury. Now they do have engage and disengage. I guess technically you have, if you run the
Kalau
Purify
story
on the Lilia
Subnautica
and then you
below
use the black
zero.
shoes, then you can pretty much go back to safety with no problem. In the Guinevere again,
Atau game itu yang loncat-loncat naik ke langit. Loncat-loncat naik ke langit. What? Loncat-loncat naik ke langit.
One of the most mobile XP laners so far. So all of them good answers in terms of disengaging from these sticky.
Sorry, aku nggak ngeh yang loncat-loncat naik ke langit itu apa.
There's a lot of openers for these fights.
Bikin part-part aja kak kalau mati terus kayak Jo.
Ruby.
Boleh,
to be able to
boleh.
go in with the I'm offended, and also
Ya, aku
allows
catat
us to
dulu
stay
lah ya,
political
sini,
Ruby.
sini,
And then
sini.
you have the Minotaur who can keep
Only
everybody
up,
alive,
oh,
continuously
only
healing them,
up.
and also providing that
Nih ya,
knockup
karena
for the
aku
Minoan Fury. And then to top
karena
it
aku
off,
ingin
Sunset Lover, this is
menerima
becoming a
semua
repetitive
masukan dari
pattern.
kalian.
He
Aku akan
really
catat.
loves playing the backline
Little
mage. Like, he likes
nightmare.
going in for these Navarias that can fight from afar, use the Astral Echo, provide even more
Rip
slow,
duit saya,
and deal some
karena
massive
pasti
damage
itu
to the team. Now,
mahal-mahal.
Arlot is banned out. I would have loved to see the Arlot on the Deuce Volt combination here. I think it would have been great, but they already
Only
have the
up.
Ruby anyway,
Aduh.
so it wouldn't have really worked out.
Ya
So
boleh lah.
I would say there's just a lot of crowd control. We need more damage though. We need to see some massive damage from the side of Deuce Volts. I would say in the early game and kind of late game technically.
A late game, Claude. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Claude will be either picked up here by RRQ HOSHI, but looking at Deus Volt here, like both haven't picked up their gold laners. They take away the Fredrin too because they're anticipating that they haven't. This might actually just be an XP lane CC, and then you got the Guinevere
Aku
on the wrong
catat
position.
semuanya, aku catat.
They might go for the Barretts. I'm not so sure this time. It can still pretty much be a pickup here for Irad, or maybe you can go for something surprising, like maybe an assassin here. But you know, in a CC heavy type of composition, it wouldn't really be good to pick that up. Deus Volt still needs their gold lane. I think the Claude might be picked up here by Deus Volt once again. I mean, it's mobile. It's really good when it comes to the laning phase, right? Its BMI can escape any clash. And Deus Volt here has a very good
Apa tadi ya, satu
setup
lagi?
place. Ruby, they got the Minotaur too, and now Irad. What's it gonna be for them? Deus Volt is really taking their time to pick up their heroes here. Maybe
Udah
pick
catat,
up
guys.
a Barretts here for
Don't
their
worry.
side, but they gotta
Tapi
carry
tamatinnya
off
satu-satu,
alongside
iya, iya.
RRQ HOSHI, so it's not
Pastilah.
gonna be easy. But I guess, you know, they want that heavy front line so that their backliners like, you know, Sunset Lover, Hiko can shine here. So insane amount of burst here from the Claude, and then the vision from the Novaria. I like this lineup coming out from Deus Volt, but RRQ HOSHI has
Don't.
the answers to that. The carry, the early game 2 with the Guinevere
Scream.
and the Lilia.
And they stole the Barats. And, you know, I would have thought the Barats, like you said, would have been a good pickup for RQ HOSHI, but they're going to go in for the Dairoth instead. I mean,
Nah,
there's
udah
some
masuk
great
nih.
burst potential, especially up against a beefier composition. There's a lot of frontline composition for Deuce Volts. The Ruby, the Barats, the Minotaur, all of them able to provide that frontline presence. But the Dairoth, he loves taking it up close and personal, and I think it's a really good decision from the side of RRQ HOSHI if they can execute it. But speaking of execution, guys, we are inside of Group A Round 2 in the winners match currently, looking at Deuce Volt up
Lama
against RRQ
iya,
HOSHI.
gimana
This
tuh?
is a possible game set 2-0 sweep in the making for
Kak,
RRQ HOSHI if they
supermarket
play their
kapan
cards
lanjut?
right,
Iya, mau.
and we'll be able to move on to stage 2 in the playoffs.
Sabar ya.
Or will we see Deuce
Boleh nggak
Volts
tunggu aku sembuh?
take the world by
Biar
surprise
enak main
again?
lamanya.
Rising Stars from M5, placed in 4th place, taken down by Blacklist, able to even out this series 1-1 as we go through the tunnels of the virtual arena into the land of dawn. We go. Which way will this play out? Who will claim victorious?
Yeah, I wish we had that virtual tunnel so we can go straight into the land of dawn. I mean, this is RRQ
Lucu ya, mid lanernya
right now.
warna-warni gitu, lihat.
Deus
Kayak
Volt right now,
biru
the
dan
thing with their lineup is it's good that they have
pink.
this heavy front line. And
Kita berarti ini masuk game 2.
You know, Banana here and
Lanjutkan,
possibly Brusco
lanjutkan.
here to, you know, pick off Sunset Lover and Hiko. And just as I was saying that, there's the Purifies coming out from Sunset Lover and Hiko just to make sure that they don't get caught up in the setups here by Brusco. And even to a point, the zoning here from Banana will be a problem here. So for RRQ HOSHI, their winning condition here is to take down the back lines once this scales up. But as for Deus Volt, they have this good early game 2 that can go at par with RRQ HOSHI right now. We don't have first blood just yet, but all these players have been poking at each other. Brusco as well, giving the vision to RRQ HOSHI. But here comes Magistar though. Nice knock up, nice take in, and that's going to be the first blood being picked up by Deus Volt.
A good start for them as well, playing patient and waiting for the opportunity. But now Irad rushing in to the 3-man team of Deuce Volt, but Octa from afar trying to use the power of Bloom. Does not have level 4, he does not have the black shoes. Needs to be careful. Neither side will fall in that engagement.
Gak bisa kabur masanya kok sekarang, gak ada Matilda.
As we are looking at a couple of the emblems on the way as well. It's interesting enough, there's 2 concussive blasts and then also 1 brave smite for the side of Deuce Volt. So they're playing very sustainable and frontline oriented. And then you can say the same thing for RRQ HOSHI, except it's a little bit of a flip, as there's 2 brave smites and 1 concussive blast for their side. But still a strong frontline presence, which means when it comes to these 5v5 engagements, there's going to be some up close and personal fights.
Wow, Skylar is doing a really good job poking at Hiko here, making sure that he stays under their turret. And now we're gonna be seeing a team fight coming in here. Banana gonna be forced to use in that vengeance. Turtle at half HP.
Ayo Irat, let's go Irat, nice banget langsung. Aduh, mental-mental semua orang. Oh, dia belum itu bahkan belum muntahin lagi. Masih low nggak sih itu? Duh, Brusko gila banget tuh, aduh. Gila sedikit bomba ini. Ayo dong, astaga. Balik. Ya elah. Rugi gak sih? Wow, rugi sih. Kok bisa selama itu sih bertahan Kid Bomba?
With the full extension of RRQ HOSHI really trying to go in for Kid Bomba, I don't really feel like that worked out in their favor like they planned it to. Oh my goodness! Hiko able to take
jangan 2-1 lah, please.
Sunset Lover, a sniper in the making with this Navaria.
This is exactly why you need to take it down. You need to take down Sunset Lover, and that's the thing. This is the mission for Brusco and Banana and even Irad here to take
Kalau
down
misalkan
the bad
tadi ada
guys.
Matilda
And so
mungkin
far,
lebih enak
DEUS
ya.
has been keeping up here with
Duar,
RRQ HOSHI.
tapi itu ada orang
And there
masalahnya.
goes
Nah itu dia.
the setup here from Brusco. Hiko did not pop in that Purify just yet, knowing that Sao is
Brusco.
in the vicinity. Gets in
Brusco.
that nice knock. The snipes coming out from the backside from
stress
Sunset
banget gue
Lover.
ngeliatnya.
Chunks Brusco to 1 HP, forced to back away. 30
Oh,
seconds
no.
before the next turtle is up, and so far DEUS VULT is actually looking pretty good here in the gold lane.
Everybody from DEUS VULT, except for Kid Bomba so far, getting a piece of the pie. They all have 1 kill. Spread across the board so far, 4-2, leading by 2 kills overall, but only down by 400 gold. RRQ HOSHI still maintaining the gold despite the kill difference, as they were able to take that turtle in that first engagement. Now, Hiko was able to get the first kill over onto Skylar. Normally you see Skylar have the advantage in the gold lane compared to most marksmans, and I would say DEUS VULT is up to a good start. Now, the question is, can they maintain their slight lead, or do we see RRQ HOSHI take this turtle yet again and be able to gain control of the early phase?
Yep, you just called it, RRQ HOSHI. Just like that, takes it in with the retribution. I do like the vision being provided here by Sunset Lover, but the way that RRQ HOSHI contained that turtle pit, they aren't able to get in. Like Brusco was there, just waiting in for the setup. Like even the members here at DEUS VULT, the tankiest members, are gonna have second thoughts before they try to get it in. Here comes Magistar with the engage. It's gonna be the nice on the 3.
Minotaur.
Brusco, Irad
No.
checking up all of the damage. He's getting forced out, but gets tugged in there by Magistar. That's gonna be DEUS VULT taking down.
Tapi goldnya masih tinggi RRQ
Nice
sih,
trade-offs
nggak tahu
there, but it's
kenapa
still gonna be
ya.
RRQ HOSHI just leading by
Kill bukan segalanya, guys.
400 gold lead. Let's take a look at that instant replay here.
Suruh roket kapan-kapan aja. Oke, Skylar mode Messi ini bisa gocek-gocek kayaknya. Udah respect Purify. Semoga bisa gocek-gocek ya Skylar.
Able to take both turtles, but falling short on these kills. They are still ahead of gold though, making up the advantage from having these neutral objectives is keeping them in this game and in a slight lead. Hiko off to a good start, like we said, able to get a kill onto Skylar, may delay the late game for carry. Looking at Irad, not off to the best start either. 1-2.
Mundur Banana.
2 deaths so far. Magister 2-1 so far on the scoreboard. Highest kills in the game overall, and really outscaling so far inside of the jungle.
Yeah, but Banana's just like diving right in with his yo-yo. Even on the side, that's gonna be a lot of
Okta.
pressure. That's just being popped here by Octa. Guys just me chalking down that
Dapat
tower
tower.
off the bottom side.
Tower.
Take it
Woi,
in, but it's still
astaga.
alive at 1 HP as RRQ
Ya
taking
elah,
in that
masih
pressure
greget
on
itu
the
Skylar.
bottom side,
Kenapa?
understanding
Kata
that
dia.
there's gonna be that power spike too from
Kenapa?
Hiko, right? And if they don't, they kind of leave him unchecked.
Tetes lagi.
He's be able to wreak havoc here up against RRQ once it comes to the late game.
Yeah, and now the next turtle does spawn in. This will be the third
Ya
one
si
of the
Brusco
game.
ini
Both
loncat-loncat
so
terus.
far have gone to RRQ HOSHI. Is the third time the charm for DEUS VULT.
Bisa nggak sih kalian nggak bisa ding?
Through their fingers.
Tadi aku mau ngomong matiin dulu gitu, cloudnya tadi tinggal setengah darahnya terus tiba-tiba di heal sama Minotaur.
Waiting to hit that spatial migration. You can just feel him itching for the setup. Astro Echo connects though. 3-man set over there from Sunset Lover from afar.
Kak besok live nggak? Nggak tahu. Besok ada RRQ nggak? Aku nggak ngeh. Ayo, itu dia. Betul banget. Kejar sih. Aduh, dia buka. Wah, Irat. Irat, let's go, nak. Anak pintar, anak cemerlang ya. Itu dia. Pakito banana nggak keluar nih. Aku kesel banget sih kalau ketemu Pakito. Tonjok terus gue. Sampai babak belur. Itu kan kill tidak berarti lebih unggul, guys.
Hiko by 1,000, even though he took a death over him in the early phase, but now with the scoreboard equalized and the economy leading into the favor of RRQ HOSHI, they may be able to open up this map more in their favor as they took a turn on the bottom side. But Kibaba very low. Sawo with the knock of the
mental mereka ini gara-gara ada Minotaur. Oh no. Oh enggak. Sabar dong, Skylar, ya ampun, Skylar mundur. Aduh, dia kena slow. Udah sih, jangan sih. Mundur sih. Alah, kick bomba kampret lo. Apaan sih lo? Aduh, Irat sekali, Irat. Irat. Aduh, Irat. Aduh, kalau itu bisa berhasil keluar, pasti momen itu di TikTok langsung wah. Ih. Dasar Novaria kampret. Tapi sih itu juga udah hebat gak sih? Maaf ya, aduh kok gue jadi teriak-teriak, mohon maaf ini. Pastikan kalian mengecilkan suaranya. Banana bot, hati-hati.
By the side of RRQ HOSHI, even though the gold lead is not that much, what RRQ HOSHI has more here is going to be the turret takes. And this is the same thing that they had. Turrets, objective gaming is going to be the thing here. 30
Betul.
for the Lord, and with
game
the
ini tuh semua tentang turret ya guys ya.
They should be able to take in this Lord. With DEUS VULT having a harder time to contest up against this. What can you say about the items here though?
Tapi Skylar jauh sih lumayan.
Gotta be getting it from Brusco here, as it's gonna be a
1.500
situation with Kid Bomba unable to do anything at that point.
Mana sih Skylar? Oh itu.
Okay. High HP pool. He does have the corrosion sight, and on top of that, the golden staff. A lot of core items working in his favor as he takes the tier 2 turret on the top side.
Aduh.
Oh, nice setup there by Savo. Banana as well.
Kejar lagi. Kejar lagi. Hati-hati. Hati-hati.
I can't believe that the CC is causing that much damage, forcing the rest of the members here, DEUS VULT, to actually back away. Not only that, the gloom's coming out from Octa is starting to hurt a lot.
Kayak kesannya apa ya? Mereka tuh cuma misalkan kasih damage sedikit supaya Skylarnya bisa nge-push kesannya. Gila, itu sedikit bomba. Udah diserang depan belakang, kasihan banget. Sulit banget ya nge-clear Lordnya, ya ampun. Kata aku sih mestinya menang ya.
Turret and now leading by 1 kill and also up 4,000 gold. RRQ looking stronger than ever, holding that flag for Indonesia. DEUS VULT now forced on the back end, needs to have a counter response to be able to turn this game back around into their favor. Hiko on the one-on-one.
Wah,
Banana
masih aman ya guys ya.
Wants to make a banana
itu dimakan pula.
But you are going to see a little bit of slip on the map. DEUS taking it in the mid lane up against RRQ.
Dia udah low kayak gitu masih ngeloncatin ke depan ya. Luar biasa sekali.
Does hit though with the Astro Echo and the snipe from the Astro Meteor. Man, some heavy presence as we are seeing the Lord on the top side make his way to the base of DEUS VULT.
Itu kalau cloudnya nggak balik mati tuh kayaknya.
Sunset Lover here hasn't been picked off just yet, standing at a 204. So RRQ HOSHI has to kind of respect that too. Like every single time they go for a clash, you got that Astral Echo, and by the time that Sunset Lover,
apa prinsip mereka tuh merubuhkan semua turret nanti?
Even those magic damage penetration items, it's gonna be really hard, right? RRQ HOSHI looking to take in the Lord. As long as they can take it, as long as they can take all these major objectives, they should be able to pressure out the lanes here of DEUS VULT.
Gold turret sama kill hampir sama kecuali kill shot down.
For the side of RRQ HOSHI, 6 turrets, and all the Lords, all of the turtles went to the side of RRQ HOSHI. 37
Ini perasaan
lead
gue
for
aja
them
emang
as
ngejelekin ya si
Deus Vault is
gambarnya.
holding on for their deal lives to extend this to a game number 3.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, and there's a lot of insurance for the side of RRQ
Ih, dia
HOSHI, right? You
ngejelekin.
mentioned
Mana ini
map
gua?
control and their turrets. I mean,
Mouse
they have
gua mana?
every single turret still standing, and we are 12 minutes in. Deus Vault's
Ih,
not
nggak jadi guys.
able to
Takut salah
execute
pencet
into
terus
their
nanti jadi
game
mati.
plan
Udah aja
jumping
biarin.
into this match. But hey, they may be able to turn it around if they play a little bit passively. They're definitely gonna have to play for the late game though. They can't really continue to contest. I mean, the gold is just
Skylar,
way out there
gold.
now, up by 5,000 for the side of RRQ.
Gila.
You're looking at some of those items on the board, but they are gonna take the fight. Brusco not gonna connect with the spatial migration, decides to disengage. We are going to see this Lord spawning in the next 40 seconds. Sunset Lever with the Astro Echo connects to Octa and will hit Banana. But do they take the fight? Hiko does. Wrenches in, chips a little bit of damage on a Banana though. He's not worried about it. This man's just rotating around with CC with ease.
Yeah, it's a 10k for Skylar in comparison to
gosh.
Hiko actually.
Sorry.
Yeah, Hiko only
Nggak
has like
bisa aku
less
ngeliatnya.
than 10,000 here, so that in itself,
Aku tidak suka
Skylar
yang
has
ngeblur-ngeblur.
managed to pick up all the items that you need. And you know, you mentioned late game. This is definitely gonna go to the carry, right? All these tanky heroes can be melted down, not unless you get that
Malam
two-man
live
setup,
Onyx
chain
nggak
CC combination
tahu.
from either Sawo and Kid Bomba here.
Lihat nanti ya.
RRQ HOSHI wasting no time.
Pengen maunya sih, pengennya sih mau.
They have the late game heroes here for the side of Deus Vault. They're knocking up the Slord.
Masih
4
sakit
HP
perut.
already.
Enggak
For
kayaknya.
the side of Deus Vault, they're waiting for the proper time to come in, but they aren't able to get in. They're waiting for some type of play.
Look at how
Astro
easy
Echo,
they
but
take
that's gonna
down
be
the
RRQ
Lord.
HOSHI getting in that Lord for free, and Deus Vault just gonna be letting that one slide this time. 43k gold for the side of RRQ as Deus Vault just struggling to even contain their lanes as of this point.
I don't know how many more punches Deus Vault's going to be able to take. Is RRQ HOSHI very aggressive and winning every single trade. I don't think they've lost a single trade so far. Looking at Kid Bomba, this is the second time he's picked up this Ruby. The last time it wasn't as effective, and it's looking like a repetitive pattern. I mean, he's 0-5-5, highest deaths on this game so far, and hasn't really been able to provide a crucial set with the I'm Offended that Deus Vault is kind of relying on, as we are now going to see the Lord make his way down the mid lane.
Aku lupa yang pas M5 lawan Onyx.
RRQ HOSHI
Deus Vault
knocking in the doors. Brusco once
gampang
again
atau
gonna send
susah?
them onto Magistore, and Skylar's gonna pick up the kill. Lord's is knocking in the base of Deus Vault. That Skylar's gonna be chunking in that tower really fast. Inhibitors are gonna be going down here as RRQ HOSHI just wasting no time, creating all the pressure on all of the lanes here. Man, this is gonna be really hard. Brusco just setting up the place here for their damage dealers to be able to do the thing. And now here comes Sawo with the setup. And the flickers out and the purifies is gonna nullify all of that, as RRQ HOSHI gonna still be pressuring in all of the lanes as Deus Vault
Sunset Lever
unable to
though.
do anything at this point.
Irat.
Goes in for the blazing
Om,
duet
aman,
backside.
aman. Wow,
Banana gonna be able to
kena,
sort
kenanya
that
sama
out, but
Varia,
Sunset
Cok.
Lover with that snipe kill, able to
Aduh,
pick off
balik sih.
Brusco.
Wah, Brusco. Aduh,
Jump
di
strike
flicker.
one half HP as
Ya
Kid
udah ngepel.
Bomba goes in for the flicker. Brusco goes down, and that's gonna be
Aduh.
it. Deus Vault claps back against RRQ.
A big turnaround, miscalculation from the side of RRQ HOSHI, and it may
Varia sih yang
cost
ganggu nih.
them some grounding on the land of Dawn as Deus Vault's now in control. Will they be able to claim some of these
Padahal
turrets
tadi
and
Brusco
push
udah
to their
keren.
base? It looks like they are going for it down the mid lane. Astro Echo does connect for the slow on a Banana, on an Octa. Sunset Lover will be able to take the tier 1 turret.
Wow, this is a 4-man rotation coming in from Deus Vault.
Mati nggak sih? Mati nggak sih?
Hiko gonna be taking in a lot
Gila.
of the damage coming out from Octa, and that is gonna be RRQ HOSHI
Gila,
picking up
Octa.
another kill.
Oke,
Turrets are going down
boleh,
one by
boleh.
one. The turrets also exposed here from the side of Deus Vault. They don't have that inhibitor onto the top side. 30 seconds in, this should be RRQ HOSHI still getting in that prime position for the Lord. They have to watch out for the snipes. here
Secepat
coming
itu
out
ngebalikinnya
from,
lagi,
Sunset
guys.
Lover. 305, he hasn't been
Luar
shut
biasa
down just
sekali
yet.
emang RRQ ini.
I love how Banana just walked down the mid lane and the entire team of Deus Vault said, "Oh, I don't want no parts of that. We're just gonna go all the way back to the base." And away they went. As now they're back on the defensive stance. That slight advantage that they had now turned back
Mereka cuek
around
banget sama
against them.
Banana,
Banana picking up the immortality. Brusco having it as well. A little bit of a extra blanket of security as they are getting ready to take this Lord.
Yeah, look at how fast Skylar's chucking in that Lord.
Ngeliat Kari kayak gitu agak ngeri ya guys.
Not unless there's gonna be a steal. They're way too far. As RRQ Hoshi gonna be sealing the deal once again, taking in the second Luminous Lord of this game.
Yeah, able to claim that Lord, which will put him in a great advantage to possibly be able to close this out. RQ Hoshi, one step away from making it to stage 2 in the playoffs. DEUS VULT needs to find a way to contest. Can they stop this Luminous Lord in the full 5-man team of Viva RRQ? Look at Banana, already ready, trying to bait out some of that utility before the Lord makes his way into the base.
Bruce goes in with the setup. He finds one, he finds Hiko. Not gonna be able to pop in that Purify just to save
tadi
it
nggak ada
for
yang
something else. But right now, Astro is gonna connect. Lord is gonna be marching in the base. They should be able to chunk this down, but lots of pressure coming in.
Terus Skylar apa ya? Tower guys, tower.
All the bursts coming out from Hiko and even Sunset Lover, but the base is exposed. They only have one inhibitor left here, and RRQ Hoshi's gonna be backing away, respecting the damage coming out from DEUS VULT too.
Yeah, but you are seeing DEUS VULT starting to be able to defend very well. I mean, RRQ Hoshi is down to 2 of their inhibitors for the mid and bottom side, and now this is officially the late game, meaning it's going to boil down to who can execute a little bit better, and now you're starting to see DEUS VULT ready to take the fight over to RRQ Hoshi. They're not playing defensive anymore. It's time to play ball.
Woi. Aduh. Aduh, gila sakit banget kok.
Octa and Brusco with a little bit of that slow. Kibamba rushing in, needs to get a good I'm offended, needs to get the set DEUS VULT is looking for, but Brusco finds it.
Oh, udah pure ya, udah purify.
Able to get out.
Aduh, kemakan pula. Kejar gak sih? Itu Magisternya lah, matiin aja. Woi, belakang woi. Ai. Nah, kejar. Ih, kejar sih. Kejar. Ai, banana. Oh no. Aduh. Ya udahlah. Susah banget ya. Aduh.
It is a 5k gold lead still in favor of RRQ Hoshi. The XP laner, the shutdown is going to be a big...
Berarti tadi udah pada low, tapi kenapa kayak pada susah di take down ya?
Gonna go towards their side. Looking at the items here again, this is the point of the game. 19 minutes in, you got those immortalities up. It's going to be really hard to get that pick off. Not to mention the purifies here that Brusco has been doing up against either Sunset Lover or Hiko. Sunset Lover has picked up that Blood Wings 2, adding up to the shield and the magic damage it can provide for the team. Low kill scores count actually for both sides, so it is going to be a matter of execution here once it reaches this mid to late game. And RRQ Hoshi just going to be positioning themselves here in the Lord Pit, making sure that they take it in before DEUS VULT. Astral Echo has been committed tier 2, and RRQ Hoshi not going to commit anything just yet.
And this is the chance they were looking for this entire game. DEUS VULT may have a shot to even out this series up against RRQ Hoshi. This will all boil down to this play right here inside of the Lord Pit. And you are seeing Irad already pulling the aggro, trying to force the side of DEUS VULT to engage, but they are playing passive. They are waiting.
Oh, hati-hati sih, mereka lihat diinjak nih. Aduh. Wah, Brusco. Sabar. Aduh, low. Waduh, Irat demi apa? Aduh, Brusco-nya mati, Cok. Nggak bisa. Aduh, kenapa ya? Atas! Ande, cepat. Aduh, udah ada yang balik lagi. Bisa nggak ya? Aduh, 50 detik lah, kampret mau apa? Aduh, ada lord lagi.
Let's take a look at that instant replay. What just went down? Brusco was punished there. Magister landing in that nice Detona's welcome onto Irad before he could actually pop in that retribution. The burst is just too much here. And
Ente.
timers are ticking
Satu lagi
down
game.
to Banana to defend this one. As DEUS VULT, they're looking to end this. To turn things around to take us to game number 3. They're knocking in the base. They can go for a straight push.
Nggak usah Rico lu. Oh my god, RRQ harus menang sih. Mereka Rico kesel banget gue kalau udah ngeliat Rico tuh benci banget. Enggak, RRQ harus menang. Dah, ayo RRQ please game ketiga. Cepat.
Semangat
RRQ.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game number 3.
Aduh, padahal saya mau beristirahat malah jadi game ketiga, guys. Skylar kalau nggak dijaga Brusco mati barusan. Aduh tadi. Kesel. Tandain tadi yang Riko.
The series is evened out. Our official first Game 3 in Group Stage A, and better yet, for the winners match to determine who will be moving on to Stage 2 of the playoffs for the Game of Futures 2024.
Yeah, RRQ HOSHI
Skylarnya nggak
right
semi
now.
tank tumben,
I didn't say it's
biasanya
gonna be a
carry
2-1,
semi
right?
tank
I
plus
was gonna say
purify
who's
kalau
gonna win
banyak.
the series because we're gonna find out actually once we get into game number 3. And the thing that it all went to
Ambil nggak sih
right?
Skylar
The map
itunya?
control, the turtles, all of those objectives they take.
Iya skornya ya
actually
ampun.
kind of bounced back to the side of DEUS VULT once it reached that late game already. That one turnaround, that one team
Gak
fight
apa-apa game 3
that can
comeback.
actually turn the tides
Amin.
around on the game. I've seen it yesterday in
Kita doakan
SPG
biar
and
mereka
just
bisa
the
comeback.
vibes, and we're gonna be seeing it here again in DEUS VULT.
Skornya, iya mereka salah nulis skornya kayak udah terlalu excited. RRQ yang menang
was
kan.
actually dubbed as the dark horse back in the M5 World Championship.
Game 3 RRQ win cepet 10 menit. Dari mustahil ya, kalau kayak yang pertama tadi bisa aja.
For game number 2, I mean RRQ HOSHI was dominating that entire game, but hey, once it gets to that late game, turrets are not even necessary. It really just boils down to who can execute more on the team fights on the neutral objective.
Tadi kenapa ya? Mereka kayak ragu.
Able to bait out the utility and rush in for the opportunity, and they seized it. This is
Bukan ragu sih, kayak gak tahu mau ngincer siapa kesana. Semoga respect purify abis ini kalau banyak ses. Iya. Betul. Duh, padahal tadi udah oke banget ya mid game-nya.
Yeah, the setups here were on point actually. For the side of RRQ, you see Brusco just pressuring out a lot of Kid Bomba there over on the early game, right? Like, even though he's able to sustain, Banana was able to dominate the lane. And I did mention a lot about the CC earlier, that it is
caster Indo. Ih, tadi aku udah jelasin. Kalau aku pakai yang caster Indo,
like you see the knockups here, the setups here from
karena
DEUS
mereka
VULT was
restream
actually on
juga,
point. There were some
kualitasnya
times
jadi
that
tambah
RRQ
turun.
HOSHI was punished, but ultimately what RRQ
Di
HOSHI
aku maksudnya,
did right here in
nggak
the early
tahu
game
yang
was
aku yang
taking the
jelek atau
objectives,
gimana,
the
cuman
space 2, which is exactly why they were able to
kayak maksimalnya tuh
to the point that
720
DEUS
gitu.
VULT only had
Jadi ngeblur. Mati tiba-tiba suara casternya, Cok. Dia tahu dia diprotes. Casternya di-cut begitu saja, guys. Ya udahlah. Kayak Skylar tunjukin gak sih pakai cloud? Maksudnya kita tantang mereka buat ngelepas apa sih Lancelot. Sumpah casternya tiba-tiba mati, guys. Iratnya nggak ada yang cover tadi pas Lord. Pada cover Skylar soalnya Skylar full damage. Buat bocorin darah Mino, Ruby, Barats. Mestinya apa tadi? Aku mau ngomong apa sih lupa. Mestinya jangan pakai Dyrus gitu. Benci banget gue ngeliat Novaria. Nih ya, coba aku cari ya. Tadi tuh aku nggak ada loh. Game. Sumpah nggak ada. Ini semua streamer loh. Tunggu.
Oke.
Tidak ada. Dia aku.
Yeah, the MVP is gonna be Sunset
Ya, jangan
Lover.
aku di-block
I did
sama
mention
channelnya.
the Novaria plays coming out from him.
Siapa
He's
kamu?
actually, one of the most banned
Bocah
also
senja
by,
jangan
by
dikasih
the opponents, right? The vision,
Bocah
the
senja,
burst,
boleh,
even
boleh,
the
boleh.
snipe kills that he was able to take, and I was pointing it out
Bocah
like mid-game,
pencinta
like,
senja.
nobody's taken down Sunset Lover yet. There were attempts
Ada
of
cari di
trying
bawah
to
terus,
take him
oh my
down,
god.
but he had that Purify, and having this combination
Nanggung
of
lah
magic
satu game
burst
lagi.
and cooldown items, it was so easy to spam.
Yang ini lumayan tahu casternya.
The Novaria still proves to be one of the best mid laners right now in the current meta. Looking at RRQ Hoshi here, Irad definitely had a hard time here with this Dyrod, right? Like this heavy CC type of composition from DEUS VULT. Yes, he can dish out the burst damage, but you know it made it hard because Kid Bomba was there. You got Sao setting up the plays, and by the time that all these heroes, Sunset Lover and Hiko, scaled up, RRQ just took the toll in one of those final clashes there. That just turned the tides around, which is exactly why we are going to game number 3.
Definitely going to game number 3, and
Opso.
that was the most intense match so far of the Game of Futures 2024.
Ini aku udah
Who would have thought
sampai
DEUS VULT's able to turn this around and take us to a game number 3 against RRQ Hoshi, who's just been dominating all of their opponents.
Gak bisa bahasa Inggris.
Ya,
gimana dong?
Changes with the Lord and a couple of issues with RRQ Hoshi being able to close out the game. I mean, they committed.
Gak ada, serius aku nyari. Darat justru enak lawan physical defense. Kayak gitu, pasif skill 2.
DEUS VULT having a chance to claim this series.
Yeah, that's 2-1 definitely from these two stellar teams, and
tadi mungkin ada kesalahan keputusan aja guys.
After that performance there by RRQ Hoshi, the thing that RRQ Hoshi just got everything in the bag, right? The early game, the mid game, and that one clash that just turned everything around for the side of DEUS VULT. And we're going to game number 3. I'm expecting to see maybe a Novaria pick up for RRQ, or maybe just ban it away totally. I mean, at this point, there's a lot of heroes that you have to consider putting on the ban list. But the Novaria, either steal it away or put it on the ban list.
And I love seeing matches like
Jangan lupa minum.
Just seeing both of these teams fight it out. I mean, honestly, anybody that wins this, you can definitely tell they put in a lot of work to get there. It was not a one-sided story. DEUS VULT, if they claim victorious on this, it would be an epic, I guess, considered a reverse sweep if they do pull it off. But if RRQ Hoshi is able to do it, then hey, I mean, they just had one bad game. I do think, though, in order for DEUS VULT to have a chance to even win this next game, they gotta find a way to dominate in the early phase, because RRQ Hoshi got everything in the entire game up until that last the end game. But I don't think they're gonna let them go to that late game again and not execute and be able to close it out. So as we do jump into this next match, let us know what you guys think that are watching the stream. Was that the most intense match we have seen so far in the Game of Futures 2024? Group stage A is where it's at. I don't know about y'all, but these matches have been crazy. We got to see Bebex and Nico fight it out. Now DEUS VULT and RRQ Hoshi, and they are definitely not disappointing today with the intensity.
Yeah, man, I think all of the matches that I've seen here in Games of the Future are all good. And we're just talking about the group stages. We're going to be having, of course, the semifinals, even the quarterfinals later on. So group stage is already kind of telling to how all these teams are just really good in their respective regions, which is the reason why they're here in Games of the Future. And having DEUS VULT here in RRQ is just for that second game, right? It was unfortunate. It was one team fight that turned it around. And I think RRQ Hoshi has to take into consideration right now what they pick up in the jungler role. Like Irad had that Dyrod, right? It can deal that burst, but it just did not shine in that game number 2.
Now, the only question I have here is that both games we saw Kid Bomba pick up the Ruby, and it didn't really perform that well in my honest opinion. I don't think it really had that major of an impact. Maybe like a couple of good sets toward like that 20-minute plus mark. But is that worth it to really slot it in, or does he just go for something else that he's just a little bit more proficient at? I just don't think it's really working in his favor against a team like RRQ Hoshi. I think they're just able to kind of give him a lot more of a harder time in that XP lane than he's anticipating. So I think maybe switching it up, trying to find a way to find a hero that can have a little bit more of an impact in the early phase could make the difference that DEUS VULT is looking for to turn this around. Because if not, again, I'm expecting Skylar. I'm expecting the side of RRQ HOSHI to dominate in the gold lane and the XP lane, and overall just win the early phase.
Yeah, I think the DEUS VULT here too is there was a chain CC happening there, right? And finally, when they got that all perfected, yeah, RRQ just definitely was not prepared for that, and they went for that one-way push. Here in the third game, I think there's a lot of things that RRQ have to talk about, right? It's already the match point. DEUS VULT could possibly pick up that reverse sweep, which is really upsetting too, right? If that does happen.
Gimana kalau Anda aja yang kasih linknya, jadi aku tinggal ngeklik. Karena aku udah nge-scroll sampai bawah ini nggak ada. Aku udah nyari channelnya nggak ada. Daripada sulit gitu kan.
They banned the Phobius too. Matilda
Kasih
and
linknya aja.
from the other side for DEUS VULT, still respecting the fact that Iran is very much capable of using this hero. We saw the Guinevere, the Ruby, the Novaria that could be stolen here by RRQ.
Yeah, definitely can be stolen here. You know, now RRQ HOSHI is going to have first pick, which means they have priority over who they want to slot in first.
Mending ngasih makan kucing busuk.
Last time picked up from them. It
Kucing
was
needs
banned
food.
out in the previous game. Do they let Banana pick that up again? Oh no, they are going to ban
Kok
it
gue
out.
gak nyadar sih udah ini lagi.
They're playing smart so far for DEUS VULT. They know better than to let Banana have that, and honestly, I feel like I would do the same thing. You just got to respect his mastery on it. But the Joy is going to walk. It usually was banned out in the previous matches, and this time, RRQ HOSHI will be able to pick him up.
Oh, so DEUS VULT, they can go for the CC here. It's open. CC Guinevere, CC Ruby here for the side of the DEUS VULT, but they still need someone to take control of this this Joy. The usual answer is usually a Kaja or a Franco, the only two heroes in the game that have suppression. Or is DEUS VULT gonna go with the classic method that we see right now, like double CCs for I mean, I'm not talking about the hero, but like heavy CC type of composition here for their side, or maybe even pick up the Novaria as early as now.
Yeah, I would definitely say the suppression is probably one of the best things they can use, especially up against that Joy, to be able to keep him at bay. They are going to go in for their marksman, though. Going to lock in that Claude. I mean, Hiko, they want to get him comfortable in that gold lane, especially going up against Skylar. And we all know how much damage he can deal. He was doing really good on that carry in the last game as well. So to be able to see the Claude will guarantee them some late game damage from the side of DEUS VULT, but it's going to allow some other picks to walk in favor for RRQ. I mean, Guinevere is still on the table. It could be picked up if they want it.
Dalam rangka apa?
In the roam position, it could be a jungle, it could be an XP, but this looks like a response. Yeah, I was going to say it's a steal, right? Because they're trying to deny Sunset Lover having the opportunity to pick up that Novaria, which is going to force him to something that he may not be as good with.
Yeah, I think Sunset Lover has a lot of heroes under his belt. So not only the Novaria, but definitely in this patch, he has been picking this up several times. And RRQ HOSHI kind of understands that, okay, we need to have something either like, you know, put Sunset Lover on something else. Maybe perhaps like a DEUS VULT right now. Going for either like the usual answer is like a Valentina, right? There's a lot of good ultimates to pick up here for the side of RRQ, but I'm not so sure if that's going to be enough. They still need to answer out to the Joy right now. They do have the CC, they do have the Claude, so will they pick up like a different type of hero for the side of DEUS VULT in terms of the roam position? They're going to be locking in the Sparamis. Still not going to confirm anything if this is going to be towards the this is going to go to the XP. I'm sorry, going to go towards the roam or the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, they have the support from the Faramis, definitely going to keep them alive. I mean, they can't pick the Valentina for RRQ HOSHI since they picked up that Novaria, so it does put them at a little bit of a disposition. I like what DEUS VULT is doing here. I mean, they're grabbing sustainability. They already have CC for the strong frontline presence. We talked about Kim Bomba running the Ruby and how it wasn't as effective, but this time it may be a different story with the CC in play, but he is going up against the Ruby on the other side, and that is going to be Banana running that, who has been known to be one of those heroes or players that know how to rotate around the map and then get to the mid lane and also to the objectives first. So that may be a little bit of a challenge for Kid Bomba. I got to see how he plays into it, just because of how well Banana should be able to sustain himself inside of that lane. But I will say I'm looking forward to seeing how well the CC will play into his hands. I don't think the Ruby was it for Kid Bomba. I think the CC may be a possible answer. Now, we still don't see anything for this Joy on the table so far. As we are looking at the bans, they are going to go in for this Baxia for the side of RRQ HOSHI. Going to ban that out, trying to limit the jungle pool for the side of DEUS VULT. Final ban on the way for the side of DEUS VULT is going to go ahead and be that Bruno. A possible problem for the Claude. Now, the carry could still be a viable option. I mean, I would have liked to have had the Claude, especially up against the Faramis. They need some late game insurance, though, I would say, for the side of RQ HOSHI.
Yeah, I think Skylar could go for the Nathan here for the final pick. They still do have that last ban for their side. The Barretts was also difficult to deal. Okay, wow. Right on cue again. Just as I was saying, the Barretts could be a problem for them. And it seems to be a pickup that a lot of the junglers go for first, right? Like if not the Martis, they go for the Barretts. And it's gonna be wow, double support for the side of DEUS VULT. This time it's in the form of the Angela and the Faramis. Let's see what the Magister will pick up last. There's still the Martis that they could pick up, but again, I don't see any answers yet.
RRQ HOSHI, siapa yang mau mereka bawa nih untuk ini ngincernya jadi dua
ini
sih.
tuh harus
Angela,
nyari
tiga bahkan Angela.
Tadi aku tuh nyari tuh nggak ada gitu loh.
Dan Angela bisa dipartnerin dengan ya sekali lagi siapapun ya kan, kalau mereka mau main agresif mereka bisa pakai seperti Martis misal, atau kalau mereka mau main lebih defensif ya masih ada Fredrin yang tersedia sekarang mau. Jadi ini agak rumit sebenarnya untuk bisa langsung nabrak, dan kita belum melihat ada semacam armor breaker juga untuk hero-hero tebal kalau memang mau dipakai nanti oleh RRQ HOSHI. Nathan yang seperti yang mau bilang tuh bisa sebenarnya. Cuman harus hati-hati banget ya karena bisa ditangkap dengan adanya Cici di sana. Dan
atau bawa Harit aja kalau sekalian.
Harit ya, makanya ada Harit kan. Chow-nya bisa pick sebenarnya Angela ini bisa jadi makanan buat Chow dari Brusco yang memang harus pas dari sisi targeting. Tinggal junglernya mau kemana? Jungler udah ada Joy, sorry. Tinggal marksman-nya nih.
Harit atau Nathan yang akan dibawakan sama RRQ HOSHI? Kayaknya menurut aku kalau misalnya mereka bawa Harit pun bukan jadi satu masalah sih, karena biasa kan ya lagi-lagi ya marksman ini kan bakal kalah sama magical damage juga kan. Jadi over apa nih kok?
Over magic damage kalau ada Harit.
Bener juga, udah banyak ya. Bener ya, udah banyak loh. Ada Novaria, ada Joy. Tapi kalau Nathan juga magical kan kok. Jadi kayak sama aja gak sih?
Iya, jadi itu lebih ngebuat Joy-nya akhirnya bisa ditahan kan kalau lawannya build magic defense buat di early game. Jadi dilema sekarang. Mau main Kari single target.
Kari kayak menurutnya susah banget sih. Ini kalau dicucuk di decimate sama Martis sih hilang sih kayaknya Kari juga ya. Apa bawa Beatrix, tapi Beatrix juga susah escape-nya.
Nah,
mau nggak mau
ini
harus maksa bawa dia bawa
sebenarnya last pick-nya kan udah keluar di sebelah nih. Ini belum nih mau, kita harus tebak nih siapa nih.
Aduh.
Tapi bingung juga karena pasti slotnya slot marksman gak sih? Ya kan?
Belum ya.
Buat RRQ HOSHI.
Kak ID-nya mana? ID apa?
Dia kayak mikir 1000
Mobile Legend.
Mikir panjang nih, mikir 1000 kali nih kayak RRQ HOSHI nih. Kayak Kari susah sih, konten nasibnya bakal kayak gitu juga gak sih? Dan seperti kita masih harus menunggu untuk plastiknya tadi dari RRQ HOSHI juga. Kari mungkin bisa jadi pilihan, tapi udah ke Kari belum.
Omawa gemoy dong.
Harusnya udah, karena tadi last pick-nya Martis.
Tapi waktu aku lihat Omawa secara langsung ya lebih.
Gak tau siapa.
Apa ya?
Oh iya, maksudnya dia udah pick gitu ya.
Surprise gitu. Ya.
Kayak pas lihat tuh bukan gemoy gitu loh.
Oke. Kita lihat ya, Clan of Dan ini dia untuk game yang ketiga. RRQ HOSHI satu sama dengan
kayak senior gitu.
Kira-kira apakah game ketiga ini bisa di-closing dengan cukup mudah, dengan cukup meyakinkan untuk RRQ? Dan
Layla.
Kok ini Layla?
Oke, Layla.
Tunggu, kok aku nggak balikin ini ya? Sorry.
Dana di internasional.
Aduh ya Tuhan.
Itu Layla kan, aku sampai kayak tapi tiba-tiba kenapa ada first blood nih?
Kenapa sih gue? Sorry, aku nggak tadi tiba-tiba bisa first blood terus aku kayak kenapa ada Layla?
Lagi di agresif.
Ini kayak bercanda nggak sih? Mereka ini
tapi register
ini beneran atau salah pick mereka?
Kayak bener deh kok.
Serius? Aku sampai jadi ke distract, sorry.
Lailanya udah tumbang juga. Dan kita harus fokus sepertinya ya, karena kita jadi miss fokus gara-gara ada Layla dan miss fokus karena tiba-tiba Brusco-nya tadi tumbang first blood.
Iya.
Sementara kali ini dari Despot mereka unggul dengan 2 poin kill di awal.
Kenapa tiba-tiba udah di ujung dunia gitu?
Menjawab dengan menumbangan Magister dan di area atas.
Ya ampun, sampai kegeser semua.
Sedikit berhati-hati.
Sorry.
Aku tahu teman-teman yang lagi nonton juga cukup kaget dengan adanya.
Takutnya dihujat ntar RRQ kayak gini.
Menjadi debut di
semoga
game
menang
of
aja
Future
deh.
kali ini.
Kalau
Sementara
nggak
lihat
lucu deh.
bomba cicinya nggak kalah agresif dan Irat berhasil mencuri
di tengah
ke
kegilaan
arah
ini.
turtle yang pertama.
Dia berhasil.
VULT ternyata mereka tidak menyangka retribution dari seorang Irat berhasil untuk
Kenapa
mendapatkan turtle untuk RRQ HOSHI kok.
Banget perasaan.
Yes, dan bahkan
Tidak
bottom lane-nya di sini aku lagi ngeliatin Layla lawan Cloud-nya juga ya. Tapi ya so far, Skylar masih bisa farming aja, cuman harus hati-hati banget jangan sampai kejadian Magister kembali menginvasi untuk area dari bottom lane. Jadi untuk di turtle tadi udah bagus banget tadi, memang bisa diambil oleh RRQ HOSHI. Let's see, hanya waktu yang akan bisa menjawab kapan Layla akan berhasil untuk menyelesaikan item dia, Mo.
Oke, tapi kalau menurut Koko sendiri nih, Layla ini memang sebenarnya kuatnya untuk di mid to the late game atau early sebenarnya dia bisa kasih pressure juga?
Kalau early lebih ke defense ya, karena dia bisa mainin jarak, apalagi level 4-8, level 8 lah udah enak ya. Karena range-nya kan jadi kayak drone naik ke atas semua, jadi lebih enak buat bisa farming juga. Tapi kalau kita bicara kekuatan dari Layla, ya jelas bakal nyala di mid sampai late game ya, karena dia butuh item 2-3 item, baru memang bisa aktif. Jadi Layla ini tergantung dari teman-temannya apakah bisa nahan di depan. Dan kita sebenarnya gak ngeliat hal tersebut dari draft RRQ HOSHI. Gue gak lihat ada badan yang tebal yang bisa ngebuat Skylar ini bisa free hit di belakang.
Betul.
Mungkin cuma ngandelin si Banana aja, dan karena Brusco ini kan hitungannya single target ya. Dia pakai 1-2 Wave Dragon-nya untuk menyulik satu pemain. Dan kalau dari segi item memang ini kayaknya Skylar harus bener-bener dapetin space untuk farming sih. Karena lawan dia ingat adalah Cloud yang dimanapun RRQ HOSHI nggak bisa bawa game ini terlalu late game. Ini cici dari seorang Kid Bomba tadi udah nge-pressure loh dari early-nya. Sementara Magister sudah mulai rusuh, masuk invasi dan bahkan lihat Brusco mencoba untuk bertahan.
Ketawar, nice.
Bagus dari seorang Banana mendapatkan 3 pemain.
Udah.
Hanya Sawo yang tumbang, tapi itu cukup untuk RRQ HOSHI. Banana lagi-lagi menjadi pemain yang terhighlight di hari ini, dan itu bener-bener satu inisiasi yang manis banget. Untungnya itu masih tim fight ramean, jadi masih ada backup damage dari RRQ HOSHI ke bawah.
Ya itu pas banget juga tadi ya, tarikan dari Banana yang sangat-sangat on point sekali. Dan itu bawahnya cukup nge-distract sih dari tadi ya. Blessing duet tadi baru dipasin sama itu, tapi gagal buat dapetin Skylar.
Langsung nanti itunya. Dikira ini
rank. Bahaya dikejar. Irat.
Hampir aja Irat ya, dengan electrifying bits-nya bisa untuk menumbangkan Hiko.
Harus dijaga banget ini sih late game jauh nembaknya.
Masih punya 1 buah battle mirror image.
Berarti mereka harus bawa ke late game mau nggak mau gitu.
Di area bawah
ya kan?
Dan VULT. Mereka harus udah mulai respect juga sama Banana yang dimana I'm Offended-nya bisa jadi kunci. Karena tadi I'm Offended-nya itu dilepaskan ketika Sunset Lover udah ngebuka Netherrealm kok. Jadi pas banget timingnya untuk RRQ HOSHI.
Nah, ketendang tuh.
Sementara The Way of Dragon dari seorang Brusco menendang ke arah seorang Magister. Dan Magister bakal diselamatkan lagi dengan Netherrealm.
Bisa.
Banana coba untuk bertahan. Kid Bomba kali ini bakal mencari targetnya itu.
Ada Angela pula, gimana sih ini? Udah ada Faramis, ada Angela.
Jadi harus sedikit menahan gebrakan pemain-pemain Despot sendirian kali ini. Sementara Turtle sudah mulai diinisiasi oleh Despot, dan di area bawah masih cukup sabar Skylar untuk 1v1 dengan Hiko. Jadi, ini Turtle yang kedua tentunya bakal coba dikontes. Banana nahan banget sih, ini gila banget. Banana bener-bener nahan Kid Bomba. Lihat Brusco udah kecicil sampai HP-nya bener-bener tercicil bisa-bisa. Sementara Brusco
nice Irat.
Di tengah dari Magister, Irat berhasil untuk mencurik lagi ke arah Turtle-nya, dan Banana hilang begitu saja. Brusco seperti terlalu memaksakan kok untuk masuk ke area Turtle tadi.
Ya, tapi lagi-lagi Irat berhasil menyelamatkan RRQ dari ketinggalan yang jauh ya dengan contribution yang dilakukan oleh Irat. Jadi udah 2 kali kalau kita lihat di game ini, dan top lane-nya ada solo kill yang tercipta juga di mana Okta ternyata berhasil di-pick tadi. Ada turn call yang terkena dia juga. Jadi ini jelas masih cukup unggul bagi DEUS VULT meskipun mereka harus merelakan turtle yang jatuh ke tangan RRQ HOSHI. Secara komposisi team fight-nya juga tanpa badan akan merepotkan RRQ HOSHI. Kehadiran Angela yang bisa masuk secara dadakan bersama dengan Netherrealm. Ini dia yang akan memusingkan Flicker. Dipakai oleh Sawo untuk mengejar Brusco yang nggak bisa ditangkap sama sekali, Mo.
Belum ada damage.
Sama-sama keluarin flicker sih dari Brusco juga. Tapi kayaknya tadi aku jadi paham sih kok. Kenapa Brusco itu tadi maksain untuk ngambil, maksudnya masuk ke area turtle ya pas dia udah bener-bener low. Karena dia pakai jet kundonya untuk samain timingnya Irat ini pencet retribution. Jadi pas RRQ HOSHI bisa dapetin turtle-nya. Jadi memang ada sedikit pengorbanan sih, tapi jadi jatuhnya bisa dapetin double kill karena banananya tumbang juga
sedikit darahnya.
Yes, oke. Tapi ya jelas poin kita ada di area bawah ya Mo ya. Karena kita harus nunggu deh kapan Skyler bisa join team fight untuk membackup yang lain. Karena semakin lama hal ini dibiarkan, Dusvoltnya akan jauh lebih nyaman nanti untuk bisa selalu
sabar.
masuk.
Brusco mati dari Brusco.
Lagi.
Wow, sayang banget. Itu padahal Brusco tadi udah The Way of Dragon, nendang ke Hiko, cuma sayangnya masih ada hard guard dari Sawo. Jadi dari
Irat,
Hiko masih bisa bertahan.
Aduh,
Irat ditumbangkan oleh 3
kenapa harus kayak gininya tuh di game ketiga gitu?
Sekarang RRQ HOSHI mereka mulai terpick off satu persatu. Dan Banana mencoba untuk bertahan, Sawo bakal coba untuk mengikat dengan puppet string, tapi ternyata ditutup jalannya oleh Kid Bomba. Dan Sunset Lover menarik Banana, namun Banana masih punya flicker untuk mundur dan bakal coba dikejar oleh Kid Bomba. Ini pemain yang benar-benar nggak kasih nafas sama sekali ke arah lawannya. Dia 1v1 situation sama Banana, kalau bisa di pick off Banana sampai tumbang bakal dikejar sampai ke ujung langit kok.
Ya jelas dia bakal berani ya. 2 level gap Mo yang kejadian sekarang. Jadi
bisa nggak ya mereka tahan sampai late
bagaimana
game?
Memang Cici di sini sedang menang laning phase berjumpa dengan Banana juga, dan lihat Dusvolt gak kendor sama sekali. Mereka bakal coba buat nerusin lagi meskipun memang ada
mati
Banana
ya. Cicinya. Aduh,
power mereka adalah nabrak
Netherrealm. Oh, oke. Brusco hati-hati.
Tapi kayaknya terlalu memaksakan dari Kid Bomba. Tim fight di area turret mid-nya, meskipun tadi sudah ada satu buah Netherrealm yang dibuka oleh Sunset Lover, tapi Kid Bomba tertahan dengan damage turret di area mid sehingga berhasil untuk ditemukan oleh RRQ HOSHI. Brusco juga yang sempat menendang dengan satu buah The Way of Dragon, ternyata itu juga sempat diselamatkan tadi dengan adanya Netherrealm. Itu kalau nggak ada turret mid kayaknya tim fightnya masih bisa aman deh dari Sunset Lover dan juga
Okta.
Wah, tapi ketarik lagi. Oke, itu dia. Dusvolt gak selesai nih. Tim fight hampir kelihatan selesai. Diterusin lagi sama mereka. Karena mereka tahu mereka lagi menang level, mereka harus maksimalin semuanya, Mo.
Iya, dan
Irat juga kayaknya belum jadi banget gak sih?
Dia tahu Irat ini bakal main agresif karena bawa Joy kan. Ketika ada electrifying beats tentunya bisa menculik ke arah satu pemain dari Dusvolt. Dan tadi tuh dari si Irat ini benar-benar ngincer ke arah Sunset Lover atau enggak Sawo. Tapi backupnya tuh selalu ada. Banana menarik dengan satu buah I'm offended. Balik lagi ke arah seorang Hiko. Hiko bakal di backup Brusco.
Alamak, mati dia. Jangan gitulah.
Tapi ini benar-benar ngincer ke arah Sunset Lover atau enggak Sawo. Tapi backupnya tuh selalu ada. Banana menarik dengan satu buah I'm offended. Hardguard lagi-lagi ke arah seorang Hiko. Hiko bakal di backup Brusco.
Oh, emang ngadat di sini, Cok. Ya elah, gimana dong ini? Cok. Jangan seperti itu sama aku ya. Nggak bisa diiniin. Wah, mati. Maka aku harus kembali ke
Banana menarik dengan satu buah I'm offended. Hardguard lagi-lagi ke arah seorang Hiko. Hiko bakal di backup Brusco.
Oh, emang mati di sini, guys. Gimana dong? Udahlah ya. Balik lagi aja deh ke yang awal. Kok enggak mati-mati, Cok? Gimana?
Bertahan tapi
enggak, nyala lagi.
Dari seorang Hiko bersama dengan adanya Hardguard dari seorang Sawo menjadi satu kesulitan untuk RRQ HOSHI dan Magister yang berhasil untuk mendapatkan Lordnya. Dusvolt mereka bawa Martis untuk jadi jungler, tentunya akan main lebih agresif kok. Jadi ini sebenarnya kedua jungler sama-sama agresif.
Apa yang terjadi tadi?
Dusvolt ini punya backupnya tuh bagus banget. Ada Netherrealm, ada Hardguard, meskipun ya Hardguardnya lebih benar-benar difokuskan buat Hiko ya. Tapi kelihatan RRQ HOSHI ini bener-bener cuma ngandelin Banana sama Brusco doang buat open team fight-nya kok, Wawa.
Ya, dan susahnya lagi ya itu tadi gak ada badan Mo yang di depan yang membuat ya Skyler gak bisa free hit kan untuk kasih damage outputnya dia ke tim lawan. Jadi dia harus mandiri banget, dia harus bisa jaga positioning.
Siapa ya
sedangkan
yang bikin
kita tahu Kid Bomba baru saja bisa lompat ke belakang. Martis ini bisa tiba-tiba ke belakang juga kalau memang
apakah dia sangat pede
clear
dengan
semuanya, clear area atau ya dia decimate tiba-tiba di samping terus bisa knock up ke atas dengan mortal coil-nya dia. Jadi sangat-sangat bahaya sekali positioning dari Skyler sekarang. Dan mau gak mau ya Kid Bomba yang harus di all in. Karena dia 1 lawan 3 atau bisa dibiarin aja. Wuts.
Tapi yang offendednya kayak percuma ya kok. Itu emoven itu udah bagus banget dari Banana. Cuma masalahnya Kid
Mati
Bomba
nggak sih?
punya vengeance.
Mati,
Dan
mati.
sekarang gak ada vengeance. Irat bakal coba
Ya,
untuk menang dia.
nggak kena.
Gak tumbang Kid Bombanya. Oh my god, Irat.
Irat udahlah.
Sedikit misplay
Ngapain
di
dia?
Oh, oke akhirnya
Masih bisa
berhasil
kabur?
untuk ditumbangkan.
Wah,
Namun dia
Irat.
harus lari dari kejaran 3
Ih,
pemain
ya.
dari Desvolt. Ada backup yang
Luar
cukup
biasa
cepat.
sekali ya, Irat.
Nico mulai bakal
Brusco,
coba
don't
ditambahkan satu
die.
buah target lagi dan lagi, tapi
Aduh.
Brusco akan langsung ditumbangkan oleh
Kenapa ini
Magister
war terus ya?
yang udah mendapatkan mega kill. Tumbang di awal, namun di arah mid to the late game Magister ini belum tumbang untuk yang
RRQ,
kedua kalinya
please.
ke bawah.
Iya, dan kita tahu bagaimana RRQ HOSHI ini berjuang, bersusah payah untuk bisa pick ke Kid Bomba tadi sampai di tengah, sampai di belakang sana, all in banget tadi buat Iran.
Masalahnya Layla ini
Meskipun
kalau
memang dia,
lari,
bisa survive,
kalau
tapi Brusco
lagi nembak nggak bisa sambil
harus
lari ya?
pick off juga. Tapi ingat, masih ada harapan untuk RRQ HOSHI selama mereka bisa menjaga jangan sampai Skylar terpick atau mungkin untuk Iratnya ya, jangan sampai terpick juga. Karena untuk sementara waktu kalau kita lihat dari goldnya memang masih untuk DEUS VULT, tapi secara team fight wise yang harus diwaspadai adalah prolong team fight yang
Awas
dimiliki
nih,
oleh
awas
DEUS
nih,
VULT.
awas nih.
Nether realm-nya
Ada
ini bakal
Faramis.
sangat
Kenapa
mengganggu
malah ke
sekali
atas?
bersama dengan Kid Bomba yang bakal
kena
bisa ada di
mati nggak sih
mana-mana.
harusnya?
Iya, oke,
Faramisnya
tapi
ganggu banget
udah
sih,
ada
sumpah.
Netherlands yang dibuka sama Sunset Lover. Mencoba untuk
Balik tuh,
menyelamatkan
balik
hidup
tuh,
dari
ayo,
seorang
ayo,
Magister,
kejar.
tapi Irat mencoba untuk mengincarkan
Nice.
satu pemain satu
Oke,
Lover.
kejar.
Yang tumbang di tangan seorang
Eh,
Irat.
Brusco
Banana
nyesel.
menarik seorang Magister. Brusco memang tumbang, tapi lihat Hiko masuk dengan satu buah blazing duet. Di
Iratnya
cover
balik sih.
ada satu buah harga, tapi Banana mencoba untuk mencari pertolongan dari
Gila.
pemain RRQ HOSHI.
Balik
Dan
sih,
Banana
udah sih.
nggak bisa bertahan sendirian. Skylar mencoba untuk 1v1 situation, tapi ternyata damage-nya masih kalah.
Gue stres banget
Meskipun
nonton
akhirnya
kayak gini,
Hiko
kenapa sih
tumbang,
harus kayak gini?
tapi at least RRQ HOSHI mereka bisa menculik 2 pemain dari Desvolt, sementara Irat masih mau lebih. Kid Bomba,
Balik sih.
where are you going? Bakal
Udahlah.
diselamatkan lagi-lagi dengan ada love wave dari seorang Sawo, dan Irat gak mudah untuk dia bisa numbangin Kid Bomba ke bawah.
Ya, ada vengeance
Sabar,
juga yang membuat
sabar.
tadi Kid Bomba pede untuk bisa melakukan 1v1
bisa,
ya.
bisa,
Karena
bisa.
dia
Ayo,
melihat
ayo.
jelas ada Sawo
Aku udah-
yang bakal datang untuk bisa memberikan efek heal. Jadi sekarang RRQ HOSHI yang tadi tertinggal, goldnya sudah mulai mendekat ke DEUS VULT. Jadi DEUS VULT harus lebih hati-hati untuk melakukan
Sebel
impact.
yang
Karena mereka
tadi
juga nggak
matinya
punya
pas lagi
jawaban
war.
atas Irat seharusnya. Mo di sini Iratnya bebas banget
Aduh, nggak
untuk
mati
bisa
dong.
memberikan electrifying bits ya.
Minimal Angela aja, minimal Angela deh.
Iya, sebenarnya kayak nggak ada yang bisa narik ya, nggak ada efek sisi yang bisa narik sih sebenarnya ke Irat. Jadi Irat ini sebenarnya enak banget untuk ngincer ke arah belakang, karena kita tadi juga udah ngeliat Iratnya numbangin Sunset Lover, dia coba untuk numbangin Kid Bomba juga. Cuma yang bagus ini dari Desvolt adalah positioningnya Sawo loh.
Wah,
Sawo
gila sih
ini
Irat.
bener-bener nggak, hampir kayak nggak kelihatan di area map, karena lagi Irat mencoba untuk cari lini belakang, Sawonya pasti udah pakai hard guard-nya ke arah Hiko. Jadi timingnya dari
Kita
Hiko ini
harus
bener-bener pas banget
take
untuk
down
di-cover sama pemain-pemain dari Desvolt.
Cloud.
Ini Irat, aku harus bilang bener-bener berat banget untuk ngegandong RRQ HOSHI sih. Karena setiap killnya itu harus dari Irat yang buka dulu kok, ngerti gak? Dan mau
Iya.
gak mau kayak Banana harus follow up dengan I'm Offended.
Tapi lama-lama sebenarnya kalau udah level sama, item sudah mulai sama juga. RRQ HOSHI sebenarnya mereka punya Banana kan tadi ya, sama Brusco. Karena Brusco juga sedari tadi untuk Way Dragon-nya dia ini pas untuk bisa
Atasnya jelek
targetin
banget
ke
tapi RRQ.
yang mana yang dia pilih. Sekarang tinggal bagaimana RRQ HOSHI bermain lebih sabar untuk bisa menciptakan peluang tersebut ini. Kapan mereka
Iya,
bisa
sabar,
masuk.
sabar.
Karena
Kayak
Irat
kemarin,
yang
kayak
menjadi
kemarin, sabar.
tumpuan. Karena kita
Abis
tahu
ini
Irat
tadi
dipakai oleh
cloudnya
Irat,
di
gak ada
atas
yang
terus,
tangkap
kok aku
sampai
jadi
dengan
ngeri.
sekarang. Jadi ini masih cukup
Iya.
nyaman
Tiba-tiba.
untuk DEUS VULT kalau mereka mau untuk RRQ HOSHI kalau mereka mau team fight. Ya dengan asumsi bahwa Irat lah yang bakal open team fight terlebih dahulu. Jangan sampai misalnya Brusco yang open tapi terus gak ada follow up sama sekali di belakang.
Iya. Kalau Irat bisa dapetin Hiko mungkin ini bakal jadi tim fight yang manis sih untuk RRQ HOSHI. Cuma masalahnya nangkep Hikonya ya susah banget, karena gimana pun kalau Hiko ketika udah mau diculik itu backup harganya cepet banget dari
Tapi
Sawo.
cicinya nggak
Dan
sakit
lagi-lagi
loh.
Sunset Lover
Tuh,
punya
Brusco-nya
Netherrealm.
emang tebak.
Jadi RRQ HOSHI mereka bener-bener harus kayak bisa tentuin targeting mereka siapa sih. Dan team fightnya memang sih dari tadi kita ngeliat tanpa Skylar ya. Jadi harusnya RRQ HOSHI kalau mereka udah team fight 5
Ijat
dengan
nih
adanya
gendong
Skylar,
parah.
ini harusnya Skylar
Ijat.
dengan positioning yang bagus harusnya
Ijat.
bisa untuk
Jadi
ngedestroy
melokal
map dari
banget
sisi
namanya.
belakang.
Itu 2 kali hit Skylar udah separuh HP tuh Hiko. Oke.
Iya,
Electrifying
udah
Bits
menit
memang
16
cukup ya,
harusnya udah dapat item juga ya kok.
Matiin Skylar.
Yep,
Please,
udah
please, please,
full-
please.
full
Aduh,
harusnya.
dia ada vengeance
Lihat
kampret,
Hiko
kampret.
damage-nya sakit banget. Blazing
Waduh,
Duet
Skylar,
mencet ke
jangan
arah
sampai
seorang
mati.
Skylar, tapi
Mundur,
Skylar
Brusco, why you
mencoba
dead
untuk
bro?
mencari
Oh
di
my
positioning
god.
lagi. Brusco tumbang di tangan seorang Magister. Sementara di sisi lain Kid Bomba memang hilang. Irat mencoba untuk mengincar ke arah Sunset Lover,
Ya
tapi
sudah,
belum
tukeran,
ada
nggak apa-apa,
minion
nggak
sehingga
apa-apa.
masih
Kita
ada
sabar aja
turret
dulu ya,
damage
guys ya.
yang mengenai ke arah seorang Irat. Dan kali ini Desvolt juga RRQ HOSHI mereka cukup
orang lagi
untuk
sakit
satu
ya. Dikasih yang menegangkan seperti ini tuh.
Dan RRQ HOSHI
mereka dapet ya guys ya?
berfokus untuk melakukan inisiasi ke
boleh
area
juga
yang kedua ke bawah.
Goldnya juga di atas sih,
Iya,
biarpun cuma slightly.
Lord tadi, jadi ini adalah keunggulan untuk RRQ HOSHI sekarang. Memang Brusco tumbang, tapi itu adalah roamer yang memang sudah menjalankan tugasnya juga. Tapi Hiko harus diwaspadai ya, jangan sampai dia tiba-tiba bisa masuk dan semua source skill habis RRQ HOSHI dan gak ada yang mengcover Skylar di belakang. Tapi Irat sejauh ini bermain dengan sangat-sangat rapi sekali juga. Full item untuk Irat bersama dengan Skylar. Sedangkan setiap kali kita melihat DEUS VULT, kit bombanya tumbang, ini mereka lumayan goyang juga karena mereka gak punya garis depan lagi yang bisa tiba-tiba melompat ke belakang.
Mundur Irat.
Iya.
Balik lagi dia.
Ini agak sulit juga sih ya sebenarnya karena nggak ada yang instan bisa loncat.
Kayak tengil gitu loh guys.
Mereka harus main front to back juga sih kok.
Maju.
Jadi anggapannya kayak
maju lagi. Matiin gak sih?
pelan-pelan cicil dulu depannya baru
terus
di
aja
belakangnya. Tapi Banana menarik ke arah kit bomba. Udah jadi informasi untuk
enaknya dia bisa
tidak akan ada offended tapi
nge-shoot
ada
dari luar ya.
Dia mencoba untuk mengacak.
Aduh Irat balik Irat. Oh tidak Irat.
Tapi bahaya sih kalau misalnya Iratnya sampai tumbang. Itu dia Hiko berhasil untuk menumbangkan Irat dan Brusco. Pecah immortality akan menjadi target yang kedua karena Hiko nggak ada yang bisa nangkep lagi kok.
Kalian mundur semuanya.
Sunset Lover juga
mati nggak sih
aduh
Sunset
yang
kehalangan
RRQ HOSHI dipaksa team fight.
Skylar mati nggak sih lu kayak gitu? Astaga Skylar.
Tapi Kit Bomba yang berhasil untuk menumbangkan Skylar dan tidak ada trade dari sisi RRQ HOSHI.
Biar apa kayak gitu?
0-3 untuk RRQ HOSHI karena RRQ kehilangan 3 pemain ke bawah.
Ya, tapi ada best start yang bisa diambil Minion tadi ya untuk di bagian
sih.
topnya. Cuman untuk tim fightnya sekarang terlihat memang dengan tumbangnya Irat.
Sabarlah, sabar sedikit lagi, sabar.
Karena Irat yang sedari tadi memang membuat perhatian.
Mati nggak sih?
Terganggu.
Semua
bombanya nggak mati. Dan membuat Skylar akhirnya bebas.
Coba dia kena tower sekali lagi.
Tapi gak adanya Irat, berarti Skylar ini harus hati-hati banget. Positioningnya juga jelas. Ini bakal ditabrak-tabrak langsung oleh DEUS VULT. Apalagi kalau kit bomba.
Kira-kira Skylar bikin
apa? Gak mau sekarang. Mereka harus bisa mengandalkan Irat untuk bisa dapetin objektif. Mungkin colong 1-2 poin kill baru mereka bisa menang jumlah dan mereka bisa kembalikan keadaan
atau damage.
Dan sekarang dari Ira.
Udah kayak gini aku tuh pengen dia nambah attack speed tau gak sih?
Kerja keras
karena
Ira tentunya.
Cloudnya cepet banget gitu loh nembaknya. Jadi gak seimbang.
Sulit banget udah pasti karena Skylar ini bukan yang gak bisa dealing damage ya. Dia tuh gak ada space-nya. Karena seperti kau bilang depannya itu cuma Banana doang.
Dia nge-blur guys.
Jadi
kenapa banyak masalah sekali
dengan tebel banget nahan semua damage dari DEUS VULT sendiri. Sementara kalau Banana buka pakai
sumpah kenapa ya?
Udah pasti dia bakal badan kan. Dan
ini
pasti dia bakal ngeluarin damage yang banyak banget. Nah masalahnya ini susah banget untuk RRQ HOSHI. Karena Skylar ini butuh space. Positioning dia juga benar-benar harus bagus banget untuk bisa dealing damage karena pemain-pemain DEUS VULT. Sementara kita tahu
begitulah kalau live
bomba yang bisa loncat
biar apa? Biarin ya
Hiko bisa
matiin
juga battle mirror
masih ada
lihat Magister gak perlu ada satu buah hard gun dia masih bisa survive kok.
Gimana kalau kita meta split push aja guys?
Jujur susah banget teamfight buat RRQ HOSHI.
Iya karena kan kalau teamfight kalah.
Harus bisa nahan juga apalagi dengan Evolve Lord yang sudah kita lihat sekarang memang dipegang oleh Banana tapi ini lebih ke megang aja ya jangan sampai jatuh ke tangan DEUS VULT dan itu akan di reset nanti oleh Banana jadi lebih memperlambat lah atau menghambat agar DEUS VULT gak langsung mengambil objektif. Dan itu dia Lordnya yang reset juga itu yang dicari oleh RRQ sekarang sembari menunggu ya positioning mereka yang bakal bisa mungkin lebih bagus lagi karena untuk nabrak ke depan sekarang lihat bagaimana kit bomba yang sudah membelakangi semuanya dan damage outputnya dia juga lumayan berasa loh Pak. Kit bomba.
Oke, Kit Bomba bakal coba di-cover dengan satu buah hard gun tapi Brusco tumbang di tangan seorang Kit Bomba. Menjadi 4 lawan 5 RRQ HOSHI mencoba bertahan tapi lihat Immortal di tangan pemain-pemain DEUS VULT ini bakal sulit banget. Kalau Banana narik pun dengan satu buah I'm offended, Magister masih punya immortality. Jadi ini tim harus benar-benar cukup sabar banget dari RRQ HOSHI. Brusco udah gak punya banyak pilihan sih tadi karena mau gak mau dia harus nge-backup dengan Jet Kundo kan. Tapi Banana menarik karena Magister.
Tapi ini kalau kalah nggak pulang kan guys?
Dengan satu buah electrifying
jadi yang dipikirin tuh itu. Karena aku takut gitu kayak.
Ini sulit banget untuk RRQ HOSHI.
Kok kayak nggak?
Yep. Nih terlihat memang bagaimana dari tanpa adanya badan ya di garis depan. Ini membuat DEUS VULT mereka jauh lebih sigap ketika sedang menjalankan objektif demi objektif dan
hampir.
Dia memang sudah
bisa nggak sih cicil aja darahnya?
Tapi lihat bagaimana Skylar juga.
Terus nanti tiba-tiba Irat masuk matiin semua.
Buat jaga-jaga jangan sampai dia karena dia tahu dia
enak banget ya gue ngomong kayak gampang aja.
Juga. Dia punya damage yang besar untuk bisa kembalikan kalau seandainya team fight sedang terjadi dan diinisiasi oleh DEUS VULT. Tapi sementara Iratnya masih nunggu juga di permainan sabar buat
hati-hati.
Mereka berusaha untuk
Irat.
Oke, Kid Bomba
Irat
pakai
don't die.
immortality kali ini.
Irat demi apa?
Dan Irat tumbang di tangan seorang Sawo. Mencoba untuk mengejar ke arah Brusco memang pecah immortality-nya. Tapi
apa atas biarin kalian initiate fight aja.
Mencoba untuk menemukan
Bisa nggak ya?
dari
Balik
RRQ
cicinya.
HOSI.
Mati.
Di depan.
Let's go.
Hiko hilang. Dan bahkan Brusco kali ini menjadi
Masih ada nggak Skylar? Oh, masih.
Sunset Lover hilang juga di tangan dari
Ambil,
pemain RRQ
Lordnya,
HOSI.
ambil.
Menjadi 3 melawan
Aduh, nggak
4
bisa.
kali ini. Hiko
Martisnya masih di
memang
sini.
tumbang. Sunset Lover sempat tumbang, tapi ingat Sunset Lover adalah Faramis yang kita tahu pasifnya cepet banget untuk respawn. So RRQ HOSI akan kembali 3 melawan 4 sekarang. Itu tim fightnya menurut aku panjang banget.
Mati. Nice, itu dia.
Oh, ternyata
Polos
tidak
amat, Bang.
Tidak
dia.
semudah itu juga sebenarnya untuk Sunset
Udah hilang
Lover
kan pasifnya?
sama
Iya,
Skylar
dia
sih.
30.
Seperti yang kau bilang,
kejar aja, kejar nggak apa-apa. Ayo sini
Skylar
mati dua-duanya. Ayo.
coba untuk menahan,
Matiin Skylar.
memberikan damage yang begitu sakit. Kid
Nice.
Bomba, destruction rush
Itu
dari
dia.
seorang
Nggak
Skylar
usah sok-sokan.
berhasil untuk menumbangkan Kid Bomba. RRQ HOSI
Let's
masih
go.
punya kesempatan yang
Lord
besar
nggak
dan
sih?
itu dia yang udah kita bahas kok. Kasih space ke arah Skylar. Biarin Skylarin main.
Tapi tadi tuh
dengan
Kid
di arah
Bombanya
belakang,
maksa nggak sih?
dan dia bisa untuk
Dia buka
menemukan pemain-pemain
flicker.
Default di menit yang ke-22 kali ini.
Bukan flicker.
Yes, dan itu dia ya.
Siapa tadi
kekuatan
yang flicker?
lain lah. Dimana
Bukan
kita sering
flicker,
bilang,
apaan sih gua teh?
tunggu late game. Dan ini dia
Dia kayak
late game
masuk
yang
sama Angela gitu kan
didapatkan
tadi.
oleh RRQ HOSI tadi. Dan free kill yang menurutku gak diduga sama sekali tadi oleh Sunset Lover adalah adanya Skylar di dalam rumput tengah tadi. Itu 3 kali hit, langsung hilang tadi dia. Dan bahkan dapetin 2 juga sekali dengan 1 destruction rush yang diperoleh. Jadi DEUS VULT, mereka harus merelakan Evolve Lord yang sekarang, dan RRQ HOSI ini sedang berusaha untuk melakukan end
Bisa.
game kita yang ketiga.
Gila disiplin loh ini RRQ segini
ini
dibanding yang
kesempatan
dulu.
yang besar di depan mata untuk RRQ HOSI, dan Lordnya sudah mulai berjalan juga.
Magister mati nih.
Dari
Mati nih Magister.
Magister
Aduh, dia
mencoba
tapi masih
bertahan,
punya immortal, percuma juga sih.
immortality, dan lihat Sunset Lover
Nggak apa-apa,
juga
tawar aja, tawar.
masih memiliki Netherrealm. Tapi masalahnya Lord sudah mulai masuk ke area base dari DEUS VULT, dan Skylar dari arah jauh udah membuka dengan destruction rush, mencoba untuk memberikan cicilan damage ke arah pemain-pemain dari DEUS
gitu
VULT. Tapi ini ingat, RRQ HOSI mereka harus main sabar, mereka nggak boleh
betul.
gegabah sama seperti di game yang kedua, karena DEUS VULT gimana pun mereka juga masih punya chance yang besar untuk bisa nge-closing di game yang ketiga kali ini Kowa.
Itu nyumpul semua di situ, oh my god. Ini kalau Kamil mati sih langsung.
Aduh,
gak kena lagi.
bagi DEUS VULT juga. Belum
Sama
lagi
Vendetta
Hiko
nggak kena
dengan
tadi,
blazing duetnya,
guys,
tapi
sayang.
harus dengan kalkulasi yang matang ketika dia melompat ke depan, jangan sampai ke pick off dengan cukup mudah juga tadi oleh Skylar. Dan sekarang masih bisa ditahan ternyata untuk Evolve Lord ini.
Skylar.
Karena pemain-pemain dari DEUS VULT juga sudah kembali spawn tadi. Hanya di bagian top base turret yang hilang. Jadi gamenya benar-benar di drag sampai dengan late game. Jual beli item juga sudah mulai terjadi seperti yang kita bisa lihat. Mortal ada di beberapa tubuh item player-player ini. Dan ini dengan full item seperti ini jelasnya ya satu team fight, satu momen, atau bahkan dengan satu kesempatan yang bisa diraih. Siapa yang bisa ngebuat hal tersebut? Dan kita sering melihat hal tersebut ada di tangan
Brusco ya?
Atau mungkin lebih ke
Hiko
ya kalau dari sisi DEUS VULT, dan bahkan dengan Kid Bomba juga.
Dia seorang
mereka
daddy?
harus ekstra waspada dan menunggu. Karena untuk komposisi dari DEUS VULT ini mereka enak untuk nunggu, bukan untuk buka.
Tapi
dan
ini
udah mulai berhati-hati juga ya Brusco ya. Dia harus cari targeting yang tepat juga nih. Kid Bomba emang udah gak punya immortality. Tapi sebenarnya sekarang di menit ke-25 ini juga Hiko nih yang harus ditargeting juga. Karena gimana pun bawa Cloud di era late game, meskipun dari damage-nya Skylar udah cukup, tapi kalau misalnya Skylar-nya diloncatin dengan Blazing Duet sih, ini juga jadi marah bahaya untuk Skylar. Skylar bakal coba untuk ngecek, cari informasi di mana pemain-pemain dari DEUS VULT, karena tadi dia sempat buka Destruction Rush ke arah kanan map ya. Takut-takut tiba-tiba diloncatin beneran sama Hiko. Jadi mendingan main aman dulu, main aman.
Skylar literally halus paling
main aman,
belakang
dibuang dulu skillnya gak apa-apa ya kan, yang penting dia masih standby buat Lord. Dan kita melihat sekarang untuk Lord yang sudah masuk ke dalam Lord yang keempat.
Kalau bisa kayak tadi,
game kita sekarang game
2 orang
penentuan.
aja mungkin.
Dan positioning dari Brusco ini harus ada follow up di belakang, dan Kid Bomba yang selalu terbuka jangan sampai terpick off.
Apakah Skylar full damage?
Akan sangat beresiko dan akan bisa men-trigger Netherrealm untuk dibuka Sunset Lover, karena mereka butuh nanti
tipis ya darahnya dia.
karena tim fight yang terjadi. Dan semua sudah dimulai. Skylar lihat damage output
Bawa ke kiri aja deh, bisa nggak? Biar nggak terlalu gampang dicuri sama mereka. Toh cloudnya masih di atas kok. Oke, nice. Sabar ya.
Sangat-sangat cepat untuk selesai.
Gak di kontes kah atau mereka nggak nyangka?
Sekarang VULT kembali ada di posisi defensif.
Sabar, semuanya nyumput nih, sabar.
Dan zoningannya dari Banana tadi bagus banget ya. Dia benar-benar nutup jalan supaya VULT ini nggak bisa nyentuh ke arah Lordnya, karena Lordnya ini penting banget untuk RRQ HOSHI. Mereka udah bisa dapetin momentum comeback mereka, jadi mereka harus benar-benar bisa maksimal untuk bisa nge-closing di game yang ketiga kali ini. Satu buah lightning truncheon untuk Irat untuk menambah damage magical lagi. Kali ini dia lebih sakit dari Iratnya. Sementara Banana ngelihat ada dua pemain yaitu Sunset Lover dan juga Magister yang sudah menunggu di bawah. Mereka tahu VULT harus benar-benar mempertahankan turret base di area bawah ini. Sementara RRQ mereka akan menggiring super minion masuk. Kit bomba berada di garda depan. Sementara Brusco masih coba
Skylar, gak mau ya masuk kayak gitu. Lu bukan
Dragonnya. Lord sudah mulai masuk. Harusnya RRQ kali ini mereka udah siap
untuk
bisa masuk ke area. Tapi Banana satu buah Emo Bandit menarik ke arah dua pemain. Hiko terpaksa ngebuka satu buah Blazing Duet. Destruction Rush dari seorang Skylar kali ini hanya memberikan cicilan aja, namun RRQ HOSHI mereka main cukup sabar. Mereka tahu mereka bisa tumbangin dua turret base itu cukup untuk RRQ
kamera
HOSHI.
saya
Dan tidak mau terlalu gegabah karena lagi-lagi VULT ini masih punya Netherrealm, masih punya Heartguard, masih punya kit bomba juga.
Ya ada curtain call-nya, jadi masih banyak memang untuk defense yang bisa dimainkan oleh VULT. Tapi dari awal Irat ini berhasil untuk membawa gamenya sampai dengan late game. Dan di late game ada Skylar plus Banana Brusco yang bakal bisa nge-pick up.
Gila sih orang yang bilang dia cuma bisa Lancelot.
Bisa ditendang atau
menurutku dari kemarin dia oke sih
oleh kedua pemain tersebut.
Wah,
di
sakit
RRQ
banget, Cok.
HOSHI mereka memang bermain dengan
kenapa sih ultinya malah kayak nggak sakit?
Mereka tidak ingin
kayak kadang-kadang malah basic attack-nya yang sakit.
Dari sisi VULT-nya mereka seakan-akan sekarang sudah hampir kehabisan bensin di sini, gasnya udah hampir habis. Hampir semua cara sudah mereka pergunakan, tapi RRQ HOSHI lihat bagaimana mereka lah yang sudah bisa memberikan damage besar sekarang. Tapi untuk semua damage yang dicicil dengan adanya Astral Sphere ini bisa di-heal.
Dia mau ngambil ini
dengan Sawo.
Nggak dapet lagi.
Dan Irat hampir aja ya ngasih presence aja untuk mencoba ngincer satu pemain lini belakang, tapi kayaknya Irat juga masih cukup disiplin karena dia cuma ngecicil aja tadi ke arah kit bomba. Dan VULT pun kayaknya mereka harus bakalan main berani sih untuk bisa ngekontes Lord yang ke 5 kali ini kok. Karena kalau misalnya RRQ HOSHI mereka dikasih space cukup banyak juga, sebenarnya kan ini Lord yang keempat bakal lebih tebal lagi, lebih sakit lagi kan. Jadi apalagi udah gak ada turret base buat VULT. Jadi kayaknya VULT harus bisa main berani. Tapi masalahnya RRQ HOSHI mereka harus rapin dulu nih laning atas dan juga laning bawahnya. Biar at least VULT bakal ke distract dengan pergerakan minion yang berjalan.
Yep, dan masih ramping juga dan sembari menunggu lagi ya untuk Lord Evolve berikutnya yang muncul. Jual beli item jelas sudah terjadi juga. Flash of the Oasis ini lebih menguntungkan bagi VULT karena akan bisa melakukan healing, tapi target yang harus dituju oleh Sawo
apa dia full damage
ya, karena dia harus bisa nge-cover
kit bomba, matiin kit bombanya.
Dia
masih bisa kabur.
Di sini,
Iya.
Nice. Itu dia Skylar. Kombinasi
berhasil untuk menempatkan kit bomba. Sementara Brusco konsil udah mulai dibuka, dia mau curi ke arah siapa, dia mau coba curi ke arah Hikonya. Tapi ternyata masih ada Sunset Lover yang mencoba untuk memberikan backup. Sementara kali ini Lord sudah mulai dicicil-cicil oleh seorang Skylar dan Magister.
Gak jadi balik lagi.
Bakal coba untuk 1v1 dengan seorang Banana, masih sama-sama tebal. Hiko udah mulai kelihatan, tapi ingat masih ada Sawo dengan satu buah Heartguard-nya. Dan RRQ HOSHI mereka berhasil untuk mendapatkan
kejar. Atas juga udah masuk tuh, kejar. Hati-hati dong Brusco. Ya elah Brusco, lu malah
mencoba untuk bertahan kali ini di area depannya dan lihat
sabar.
Skylar,
Skylar,
Magister. Hiko sudah satu Blazing 2, tapi ternyata Brusco tumbang, tapi Magister di sensor sisi pun
Skylar masih ada.
Irat mulai datang dengan satu buah Electrifying Blades dan Hiko mencoba untuk bertahan, tapi Hiko bakal tumbang. Itu dia RRQ HOSHI kembali menguat di game yang ketiga dan sekarang kemenangan di depan mata. Tapi apakah RRQ mereka bisa melakukan endgame? Banana memang hilang, super minion mulai masuk kali ini ke area base-nya dan lihat Skylar bakal berfokus, masih ada minion yang keluar dan Sunset Lover tumbang di tangan seorang Skylar dan wipe out.
Bisa Skylar nyampe, ayo. Skylar ngapain kamu ngulti nak? Oke.
2-1
ya Tuhan, terima kasih.
Masih memiliki mental yang begitu kuat.
Wow, oke.
Adrenalin, Cok.
Mengejutkan memang dengan pick mereka tadi ada.
Wah, itu Layla benar-benar bikin ketar-ketir kayaknya semua orang ini udah
Skylar dia berhasil untuk menjaga
percaya,
posisi
cek
dan juga
TikTok
free shot
langsung
tadi
keluar
untuk Skylar.
semua Layla.
Ada Win of Nature tadi yang sempat untuk menyelamatkan dia juga. Dan ya kita tahu lah bagaimana Layla di late game dengan outrange dengan
capek banget.
Sesuatu yang sulit untuk digapai oleh lawannya.
Congratulations RRQ 21. Berarti harusnya peringkat pertama gak sih?
Awal tadi mereka memang masih punya kit bomba.
Baru miss goal juga 2-0.
Tapi kalau item sudah jadi, item attack jadi, item defense jadi.
Siapa sih?
Ini cici seakan-akan buat late game-nya. Ini cuma bisa ngepok,
mantap,
kasih info,
Irat membawa ke late game.
Beda mungkin di early sampai mid-nya di mana dia kasih info tapi bisa.
Tapi untung Skylar-nya ya ampun.
Agresif. Dan itu yang terjadi tadi, dan akhirnya meskipun gamenya memang bisa
maksudnya
dibawa sampai
dengan
30 menit ya RRQ HOSHI mereka berhasil untuk mendapatkan poin kemana, tapi thanks to Irat
ya
jelas ya,
tadi
karena di awal-awal tadi Joy
Gila sih.
ini memang gak bisa ditangkap sama sekali, draftnya dari
semakin banyak ya hero-nya
gak ada yang bisa single
Skylar.
target lock dan memudahkan
Sekarang kamu mau nge-ban
bisa
siapa?
langsung targeting ke belakang untuk ngebaying time dan bahkan retribution yang kembali bisa memenangkan untuk duel-duel di turtle.
Musuhnya gak bisa deketin Layla, iya. Padahal tadi tuh yang terakhir tuh cloudnya kayak udah di belakang dia banget kan tadi.
Skylar ini masih susah banget untuk dapetin item, dan bahkan kita ngelihat bahkan sampai di menit 20 aja itu Skylar baru bisa dapetin momentumnya untuk bisa nge-scroll pick off Sunset Lover ya kan, ngasih dealing damage ke arah Kit Bomba. Tapi jujur Kit Bomba jadi pemain yang ngeselin banget.
Nanti Onyx aku nggak tahu ya.
Kayak apa ya?
Mungkin bisa nonton, diusahain nonton live, tapi kalau enggak ya mohon maaf aku akan record aja.
Ini kayak agresif, mainnya
yang ini
berani,
maaf ya.
gitu kan. Yang akan kita lihat tentunya di highlight
kecacatan videonya.
Yang dimana
ada lagging, ada mati-mati, kamera aku mati-mati, kayak semuanya aja bermasalah.
Lihat apa lagi ya, tapi itu dia Irat bisa menangin duel
itulah the beauty of life ya guys ya.
Terlalu cepat juga ya.
Nonton live
kayak gitu. Untuk memberikan damage.
Mau main nggak? Mau istirahat dulu ya.
Untuk di area
karena takut nanti jadi mau nonton Onyx.
Bisa juga untuk bisa nge-defense, untuk bisa
sabar lah ya.
Meskipun di awal gak dapetin banyak point kill, tapi akhirnya di late game dia bisa dapetin semuanya.
Kapan
dan
ya?
Perbedaan level sih mau tadi. Kalau kita lihat antara
kalau mau mabar nanti pas nggak ada game gitu. Besok mereka main gak sih?
Bomba terlihat cukup bebas dan leluasa untuk ada di depan.
Aku harus menyiapkan kekuatan untuk.
Jadi agak-agak susahnya di RRQ tadi di sana. Tapi kalau gamenya memang bisa di-drag nih sampai di late game. Nah itu yang kita nantikan juga ya. Dimana akhirnya late gamenya dipegang oleh RRQ HOSHI dan Destruction Rush yang berulang kali dilepasin oleh Skylar nih. Yang gak bisa diduga sama sekali ada dari mana.
Terus aku ngeliatin highlight lagi.
Dan bahkan
positioning dari Skylar
yang dimana waktu di Lord tadi kan ya. Jadi Lord dia ternyata ada di bush di bagian tengah, di rumput bagian tengah. Dan itu tidak diduga sama sekali oleh Sunset Lover, dan tumbangnya Sunset Lover di sana di mana
follow deh makanya Instagram, kadang-kadang aku suka nge-post terus aku bilang ayo mabar
apa nih,
gitu.
habis tumbang cepat hidup lagi tumbang lagi. Nah itu yang gak dicari dan gak diduga sama sekali oleh DEUS VULT. Dan akhirnya semuanya kebalik dari sana. RRQ HOSHI tiba-tiba mereka pegang momentumnya dan gak dilepasin sama sekali juga. Tapi ya kita bisa melihat lah, serangan-serangan yang dibangun oleh DEUS VULT ini ngeri banget dari early sampai midnya yang mereka bangun, kit bombanya yang cukup mengganggu. Namun pada akhirnya dengan kesabaran ya, di game kedua dari DEUS VULT dibalesin RRQ HOSHI. Di game yang ketiga ini membuahkan hasil sampai dengan 30 menit gameplay loh Mo. Panjang banget tadi, harus sabar banget karena kita ngelihatnya Skylar ini nggak bisa buka sama sekali. Sekali saja dia show. Itu bisa tiba-tiba ada blessing 2 di sebelahnya. Jadi mau gak mau dia mundur, dia harus ada di belakang dari pemain yang lain.
Ntar kalau main chat aku pamit dulu.
Dia harus mainnya aman banget sih Skylar. Tapi
chat kemana
ini menurut aku semua aspeknya sih sebenarnya juga thanks to Irat, thanks to Brusco ya, meskipun kayak kelihatan Brusco-nya mati terus, tapi itu space create loh untuk Skylar. Kayak Skylar-nya jadi gak akan bener-bener bisa difokusin, ditargetin sama DEUS VULT karena mau gak mau
cepetan dong MVP, aku pengen tahu MVP-nya siapa nih.
Dari si Brusco. Brusco ini kan punya efek sisi, Jet Kundo, punya Duel of Dragon ya kan. Itu aja cukup sebenarnya untuk ngasih space ke arah seorang Skylar. Lihat posisi Skylar di cover sama habis-habisan sama Okta dan juga sama Banana kan. Jadi kalau nggak ada dua pemain ini aku
emang nggak mungkin sih.
Irat
masih mungkin gak sih?
Skylar ya,
Irat juga tadi tapi dia jarang nge-kill ya. Kayaknya banyak Skylar. Coba kita lihat. Astaga Brusco coklat.
Gimana Skylar yang bakal menjadi
116
ya. Mungkin MVP kita tadi dengan damage yang di-deliver oleh dia, output dia ke lawannya juga besar. Gamenya juga ke-drag sampai dengan super late game seperti ini. Dan memang susah tadi untuk bisa dapetin Skylar, apalagi di late game Layla orang lagi deket tuh udah tinggal separuh nih. Tinggal pilihannya dua, lebih deket lagi mundurnya tuh bisa langsung
Aku nggak main
tumbang
IG
juga,
di YouTube
bisa
aja
pick off.
chatnya. Gimana cara
Jadi emang
ngechat
harus
di
all
YouTube?
in juga dari DEUS VULT-nya.
How?
Tapi all in mereka gak
Emang di YouTube bisa chattingan?
dibarengin sama-sama. Biasanya ada yang kepick dulu, baru mereka fightnya 4 lawan 5 ya kan. Atau dari rem sudah pakai dulu pancing, baru
Udah dulu ya guys ya.
RRQ
Nanti
HOSHI lah
Onyx
yang,
semoga bisa
melakukan
kuat
inisiasi.
untuk nge-live.
Wow.
Kalau enggak aku record aja.
Bener
Oke, karena
banget
malam
nih.
banget
Tapi
lagi
gimana
setengah
pun
12.
ya,
Ah, enggak malam sih
kalau
sebenarnya.
kita
Cuman
ngelihat
kalau
nih,
lagi sakit tuh setengah 12 aja udah kayak tepar.
playstyle RRQ atau mungkin gameplaynya RRQ
Nanti
game ketiga ya. Itu
kita lihat
kayak
nanti.
kelihatan
Oke.
mungkin
So,
iratnya yang wow
ketemu
banget
lagi
gitu kan.
nanti di
Skylar yang
live
akhirnya
berikutnya.
bisa
Oke.
ngegendong di
Bye
legend.
bye.
Tapi gimana pun ini ya permainan 5 lawan 5. Kalau nggak ada satu pemain, nggak ada dua pemain, nggak ada supportnya, nggak ada backupnya juga sama aja bohong. Tapi kelihatan RRQ mereka komsnya dan disiplinnya juga cukup rapi. Dan congratulations tentunya tim RRQ berhasil untuk men-secure skor 2-1. Tapi kita masih ada match yang ketiga teman-teman. Jangan kemana-mana, kita bakal kembali setelah yang satu ini untuk break sebentar. See you.
See you.